Hello, we're back. Let's see just how long these days are going to be. Blades cross. The edges of both swords come into contact again and again. Stroke after stroke, sword and katana alike spark as they strike and parry. Several dozen exchanges like this later, and neither opponent has changed positions. Assassin, standing higher on the steps, holds his ground. Saber, who is trying to advance up the stone steps, can't get any closer to Assassin. Over time, she bleeds more and more energy. Is he even using energy, though? Whatever. One of Saber's many attempts at rushing in. Assassin effortlessly swings his long blade fully 1.5 meters and halts Saber's advance. No, he's not simply preventing an advance. If Saber's blade is lightning, Assassin's katana is a hurricane. Though Assassin may be no match for her strength or speed, the flexible trajectory of his blade sweeps aside Saber's every attack. So she's faster and stronger. His technique is able to deflect her attacks. I don't know. I just kind of don't buy it, really. Like they are kind of just saying that he's mostly a normal guy. Like, I know, like, not a real normal guy, but, like, as far as servants go, he's mostly a normal guy. I just feel like if she swung her blade with all her strengths, even if he deflected it, it would still, like, break his sword or something. The ricocheting katana gains speed and flips back toward Saber's neck like a gust of wind. So he is faster. I mean, like, technically, maybe Saber might be faster, but she has a heavier sword, maybe? But I don't know. At Saber strengths, I feel like, you know, like, her physical strength should make it so her sword feels as light as a feather. But I don't know. Maybe, you know, his would be even lighter, I guess. But he still has to deflect her sword strike. If he doesn't deflect it properly, then he just dies from the sword just being so much more powerful than his defense. Even as Saber dodges the blow by only a hair's breadth, the long katana flicks back toward her, giving her not a moment's rest. In contrast to Saber's straight sword, Assassin's blade is curved. Assassin's cutting edge is graceful, but it also draws a long extended arc. He shouldn't be able to match Saber's sword as it moves in a straight line, but he somehow cancels out that difference, somehow. Also, apparently just doesn't matter that she's using an invincible sword, but okay. He suddenly stops. Her blade isn't moving fast enough to block Assassin's counterattack. She falls back a pace, knowing it's the only way she can avoid the incoming strike. Maybe the bigger issue is being on higher ground, so like that somehow limits the kind of sword strikes she can make on him. I mean, that's how I always understood this scene. It's just that the anime doesn't portray this fight very well. It's just like, they clash. Oh, I can't get past him. They clash a few more times. I better leave. And that's about it or something. Assassin's katana traces a fascinatingly beautiful arc, but at the same time it is so fast that it's nearly impossible to follow. Is this seeming impossibility owed to the Assassin's skill, or is it owed instead to Saber being at a disadvantageous position in their battle? Unable to reach a clear conclusion, Saber continues dodging Assassin's strikes and turns aside the blade as it arcs towards her neck with her own weapon. The next thing she knows, she has retreated a few more steps down the stairs. That's the extent of his long katana's reach. It would be easy to rush up close to him once she sweeps his sword aside, but for some reason she just can't do it. Okay, I see, okay. For some reason. It must be owed to the enemy's superb skill and her own position below him, which puts her at a disadvantage. Saber bites her lip, thinking she wouldn't have such a hard time against that long katana if they were on flat ground. Okay, so even, okay. So they are addressing it. That it's like, even he doesn't really know why, other than just technique issues or compatibility issues, perhaps.
さすがにやりにくいな。見えない剣というものがこれほど厄介とは思わなかった。
Assassin is unmoving. He is fighting purely to defend. Oh. Really? Wait. Fighting purely to defend, but also is aiming at her neck consistently. Huh. He need not chase after a retreating saber. I mean, he maybe should. I mean, he can take like 1 or 2 steps. Nor does he have any reason to give up the advantage of higher ground. I mean, what even is an ordinary opponent? We're talking about every person he's going to be fighting from now on as a heroic spirit. So, like, am I supposed to believe even heroic spirits would be falling to this? I just doubt it. Assassin watches Saber, his posture relaxed, perhaps simply because he needn't go on the offensive. The tip of his blade wavers, losing strength, but Saber cannot seize the opportunity. The man is not holding a stance. A long katana like that can only be wielded as long as the wielder is able to swing the sword from any position. The sword and katana clash. I have you know. The longsword stops mid-swing. Assassin grins, glancing at his katana where it stopped the invisible sword, then parries again. While Saber catches the flash coming at her neck. Even Saber knows she's been able to block Assassin's unfamiliar sword work thanks to her invisible sword. Oh, okay, so they're saying she's purely winning because of the sword, her sword being invisible. It's weird because, like, in other fights, I mean, maybe I don't know if they're in I mean, in Fate Zero at least, it was brought up like in the first or second fight that somebody figured out her exact length very quickly. So it's really funny that here, that's not really the case. I don't know how much the invisible sword really matters going on from here. I don't think it matters much. Her invisible sword can confuse the opponent's senses, both offensively and defensively. Assassin not following through on his attacks is proof of this. Not knowing how long Saber's sword is makes it difficult for Assassin to close in on her. If Assassin were to step in to attack Saber, he will do so when he can counterattack, probably. When Saber tries to smash Assassin's forehead. That attack. Well, the arc is pretty obvious. Assassin dodges it completely as he takes just a step back. Yeah, here we go. No, I know how long it is now. I mean, I don't think there's any way he would know what the shape of the sword is. Like, I mean, he would understand the basic idea of it, but like, it could still look weird or be weird in some way. Assassin may have spoken calmly, but his exceptional skill at praising the blade is clear. Saber's strike had been so fast that even... Oh, a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Sorry. Just a quick text. Saber's strike had been so fast that even were her sword invisible, it would have been almost impossible to see. Yet, not only has he managed to defend himself from the invisible blade, he's also figured out its size and shape.
何の魔術も使わず満足に打ち合ってもいないというのに私の剣を測ったのですかあなたは
I mean, for all she knows, he has like super eye senses or something, you know?
ほう、驚いたか。だが、こんなものは大道芸であろうよ。邪剣使いゆえ、このような技ばかり上手くなる。
I don't know why he calls himself a street performer. Technically, he's a street fighter. He fights on the street. Exclusively.
なるほど私の一撃をまともに受けずただ払うだけがあなたの戦いだった邪剣使いとはその逃げ腰から来た俗称ですか
いやいや、まともに打ち合わぬ無礼は許せ。何しろこの長刀だ。打ち合えば折れるは必定。お主としては力勝負こそが基本なのだろうが、こちらはそうはいかぬ。その剣と組み合い、力を競い合うことはできん。
Yeah, like I thought. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Still, it feels like if she aimed for his sword, it would break, right? So, like, why wouldn't she aim for the sword? Like, he's doing all this parrying, all this defensive stuff. But, like, couldn't she do something that would bait him into doing his attack? And then she would parry, but when she would parry, it would break his blade. But I don't know, he's conscious of it too, I suppose.
もとより、刀というものはそういうものだ。西洋の剣はその重さと力で物を叩き切る。だが、我らの刀は速さと技で物を断ち切るのだ。
Which is confusing, since he says this even though the rapier exists. A rapier is the exact same type of thing, speed and technique. And I mean, even Western swords, I think, I mean, obviously a claymore is weight and power, but I wouldn't really say that like a traditional what? I'm trying to think of other sword names. Like a sword that would be like, honestly, it's like Saber's sword. So like 3 feet long, a 3-foot sword, a straight sword, 3-foot straight sword. I feel like that's not about power. That one would also be about precision. Like, but I mean, more than anything, I want to throw out there, European, let's say Western, but European swords are pretty commonly used with a shield. Now, from what I'm thinking, in most of the Fate franchise, I think most servants from Europe don't use shields. There's a few exceptions. I think Astolfo does use shields. And no one else springs to mind. You would think old Romans would be using shields, but for some reason, I don't think any of them are portrayed as using shields. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there, that like shields matter in Western combat, but not in Fate. It'd be too complicated. Oh no, wait, it's too good actually. Oh,
戦いが噛み合わぬのは道理であろう。まあしかし、これではいささか興がそがれる。もう良い頃合いだぞ、セイバー。いい加減手の内を隠すのはやめにしろ。
What's that mean?
アサシ、私があなたに手加減しているとでも。
していないとでも言うのか。何のつもりかは知らんが、剣を鞘に収めたまま戦とは舐められたものだ。私程度では 本気を出すまでもない。
I guess this is going into Saber's own thing. But yeah, Sheath. No, this is just the passive ability.
ほう。それでも応じないという顔だな。よかろう。ならばここまでだ。お前が出し惜しみをするのなら、先に我が秘剣をお見せしよう。
And with that, the swordsman with the long katana drifts down next to Saber. What? For an assassin to give up his advantageous position is as good as inviting defeat. He may be a superb swordsman, but it was the landscape of their battleground that gave him the advantage, except that, you know, he's also logically faster than her, but okay. Assassins normally should be like number 1 fast, number 2 tricky. If the two are to fight on level ground, Saber should have no trouble repelling Assassin's attack and taking his head then and there, she says. Wow, he must be like 2 feet from her, by the way. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, he came down to her level, but it's like, I guess maybe they're on one of those, like, you can see the stairs right here on the picture. Maybe they're on one of the landings, so maybe they're flat in that way. Anyway, it's for his technique. Assassin should know this as well, so why? It's for his technique.
出なければ死ぬぞ、セイバー。
Why even tell her this? Saber instinctively reacts to the smoothness in his voice, where he is speaking the truth. Assassin descending the steps has not put her in an advantageous position. Her intuition, which has enabled her to triumph in so many battles, warns her of her mistake. She readies her invisible sword. There's no room to hesitate. What matters is that she has to attack with her sword before Assassin swings his long katana. Unless it's a counter attack, but okay. Roughly 3 meters separates the two. He readies himself. The stance he takes now is one he has not taken in their battle so far. Saber charges. The long katana is meaningless now. The moment she draws near Assassin, the katana will become a liability to him. And yet, such logic means little to a swordsman like him. Lightning strikes, faster even than Saber's blade. The demonic blow strikes down in a single straight line. But it's not as if Saber cannot block such an attack. She quickly raises her sword to defend, repelling Assassin's attack. Even Assassin will be left open after an attack like that is turned aside. In that split-second interval, as Saber attempts to cut through Assassin's stomach. Swiftly trusting in her instincts, Saber rolls down the stone steps. She rolls away as if she's fleeing. She makes no effort even to soften her landing. It's weird to say as if she's fleeing. No, it's to desperately dive out of the way of the attack. As if she's fleeing. No, if you're fleeing, then you run away. You don't dive out of the attack's way. All Saber does is frantically hurl herself down the stairs, slowing for nothing. Saber stops rolling and gets to her feet. Above her on the stairs, she sees the swordsman standing at his ease. At his ease. The superior of a swallow.
信じられない。今のは
何？そう大した芸ではない。たまさかツバメを切ろうと思いつき、身についただけのものだから。
Japanese swallows are serious businessman. It's not a noble phantasm, by the way, apparently. He raises his long katana up high. The motion is done as if to mimic the demonic. I don't know why they keep calling it a demonic sword. It's not demonic, by the way. Like, demonic swords exist in the Fate universe. This is not a demonic sword. They're just saying it's demonic because it's antagonistic toward our protagonist. As if to mimic the demonic sword's motions he demonstrated earlier to intimidate Saber.
見えるか、セイバー。ツバメはな、風を受けて刀を避ける。早かろうが遅かろうが関係はない。どのような刀であろうと、大気を震わさずには触れぬであろう。
Why don't you just swing faster? But okay, sure.
ゆえに、どのような一撃であれ、ツバメを断つことはできなかった。所詮刀など一本線に過ぎぬ。縦横に空を行くツバメを捉えられぬは道理よな。 ならば逃げ道を囲めばいいだけのこと。
I mean, technically, I think all he's doing is swinging his sword very fast. I believe.
1の太刀でツバメを襲い、風を読んで避けるツバメの逃げ道を続く2の太刀で取り囲む。
Basically, it's a very fast counter. It's like they do the first attack to bait them into making them believe that that's the strike, and then they do a quick counter to counter whatever, however they reacted to that first strike. I think.
しかし連中は素早くてな。この長刀ではまず2の太刀が間に合わん。ことを成したければ一息のうちほぼ同時に行わなければならなかったが、そのような真似は人の技ではない。叶うことなどあるまいと承知したものだが、あいにくと他にやることもなかったのでな。一年鬼神に通じるというが、気がつけばこの通りよ。
I am the only man in history to kill a swallow with a sword.
ツバメを断つというくだらぬ思いつきは、複数の太刀筋で牢獄を作り上げる秘剣となった。
Saber cannot help but disagree with his matter-of-fact narrative. It is untrue. His technique is not as simple as he claims. Execute two attacks simultaneously? Impossible. The two blades struck at exactly the same time. I mean, what if they were like a tenth of a second off? Anyway, in that moment there existed two separate katana.
奇襲はゼルレッジ。何の魔術も使わず、ただ剣技だけでホーグの域に達したサーバント。
What the fuck? His name gets mentioned for the first time here? I was actually just researching him again because his name just comes up so randomly, so many times and so randomly. And yeah, like, sure, we're just gonna you use time stop. That's basically what she's saying. You clearly use time stop. It is most certainly to be admired. That single blow made it very clear. Sasaki Kojiro does not possess a noble phantasm as heroic spirits typically do. All he has is his magical... Is it really a magical sword? But okay, whatever. I mean, technically all their weapons are magic because they're made... all of them are made of magic entirely. And its sheer power... It's not power. Reaching the realm of the gods. What's astonishing is that this man, a mere human, has managed to stand on equal ground with a heroic spirit who possesses a noble phantasm. Right, so they're just saying he's like a normal swordsman, but with this one technique he's able to become more than a normal swordsman.
だが足場が悪かったな。ツバメ返しの奇跡は本来3つ。もうわずかに広ければ横の一撃も加えられたのだが。
そうでしょうね。そうでなければ不完全です。すべてが同時であるならニノたちはどうしても遅くなる。それを補うために横方向への離脱を阻む3の太刀があるはずだ。
いい飲み込みの速さだ。だからこそ我が秘剣をかわしたか。素晴らしいぞセイバー。このような属性に呼び出された我が身を呪ったが、それも今宵まで生前では叶わなかった立ち会い。我が秘剣を存分に振る舞える殺し合いができるのならば、呼び出された甲斐があるというもの。
Assassin readies his sword again and descends the stone steps. He must be after Saber's head. Saber is not confident she will be able to dodge that secret technique again. This freaking grammar. Like Lancer's Gay Bolg, Assassin Swallow Reversal is a technique that one cannot allow the wielder to use. Except, unlike Gay Bolg, against which one can defend once they understand what it is. Wait, no, you can't. What? I thought, and know that it will strike at the heart. It doesn't matter if you know that the Gay Bolg is going to attack at that heart. As soon as the Gay Bolg is activated, it already hit your heart. That's the whole point of it. Whatever. There is no defense against Assassin's secret technique. It cannot be evaded even when one knows what it is. It's the other way around. What are you talking about, man? You can still block it. Okay, like, okay, it can't be evaded, but you can certainly block it. Like, he never said this was an unblockable technique. It's just an undodgeable technique. You know, obviously a swallow isn't going to block a sword, but it could dodge. But then, okay, well, I made it so you can't dodge the attack. Okay, there we go. I don't know if they'll go into this later, but I just want to throw that out there. It's like, duh, you can still block it. Like, even if it is 3 blades, they're still attacking one spot, aren't they? Now, if it was attacking like 3 different points on your body, then I understand. But again, like, this is the opposite. The Gay Bolg can't be defended. But that said, even though they said the Gay Bolg reverses cause and effect, I don't know if it has ever actually worked in the series. So it's really funny. It's like, oh man, sounds impossible to defend against, impossible to beat. Whatever. If there is a defense, it lies in preventing him from using the attack. The only way to defeat him is to deliver a devastating blow where assassin can before assassin can unleash his secret technique.
なるほど。確かに手加減など許される相手ではなかった。
Wait, so why did you take it easy on him? He lowers both her hands. Saber drops the tip of her invisible sword as if driving it into the ground and glares up at assassin as he approaches.
おお、そうか。ようやくその気になったか、セイバー。
No, I'm out. Assassin stops descending the steps and readies his secret technique once more. Saber looks at him bravely.
不満がないのはこちらも同じだ。我が一撃受け切れるか、アサシンのサーバント。
Saber releases her own restraints. The air trembles as if responding to her will. Her sword releases a torrential gust of wind. Yeah, I've seen this attack before. I don't know what he does against it though. Assassin retreats several steps. The gale force winds released from Saber's sword are extraordinary. Even the thick trees on either side of the temple gates creak and groan. So strong as wind, it all but explodes outward from her blade. The atmosphere sealed within is released and roars outward in all directions. Saber's sword releases a gust of wind that could easily carry off a human being. This is her blade's power. The invisible air is, as the name implies, a sword that has sealed up wind. The sword, sheathed in compressed wind, reflects and reflects light to give it the appearance of being invisible. This is what happens when the wind is released. But could she, like, seal it and release it and seal it and release it? Because if you could do that repeatedly, this is a very, very strong secondary type of attack. I don't think she actually ever does use it as an attack other than in Fate Grand Order. And in Fate Grand Order, honestly, the invisible sword part doesn't even matter. The released air seeks escape and dissipates into its surroundings in chaotic gusts. She does call it chaotic gusts. Actually, it looks way better here because, like, every other time I've seen the invisible sword, it's always got this wind aura around it. So it's like, wait, shouldn't you be able to see it? But as you can see right here, she's holding it in her hand. It's 100% invisible. And then, you know, a foot above her hand is the light where it's about to release the wind spell. But, like, before the wind spell is released, you can see it's 100% invisible. So it actually is invisible. It's just that every adaptation, I think, always makes it visible for the viewer. Honestly, they shouldn't do that. During that time, her sword's commanding magecraft allows her to freely manipulate the raging wind. As Saber possesses incredible amounts of magical energy, she should be able to maintain the bounded field for a few minutes. Bounded field, okay. Just because you're using magic, you're using the bounded field, I guess. The truth of this is made apparent by the fact that her sword, even after releasing so much energy, remains invisible. The howling winds do not die down. The unleashed winds are about to engulf the assassin. Assassin closes in despite the raging, blinding wind. Saber's arm moves. The wind-infused blade roars, readying itself to intercept the assassin, who advances calmly, slowly in spite of the gale force winds, strong enough to prevent most people from even approaching. Man, this game is making, like, this is just a portion of the game. Suddenly, all of this is just missing words. Like, this is bad. And then she retreats. Because, like, if she just started, like, swinging her sword and, like, throwing gusts of wind, he'd be done. It's over. Like, he can't do anything against anything even vaguely magical. I assume that he's supposed to be, like, just a body to take hits, basically. What the hell is happening? When I reach Ryodo Temple, I'm greeted by the sound of air rushing at me like a typhoon. That must be Saber over there. At the top of the stairs in front of the temple gates, I see an armored figure who must be Saber fighting someone wearing a kimono. The wind swirls around Saber and the surrounding trees creak under the gale force intensity. Wait. Damn, I don't think I can get close. The wind is so intense, I can't even keep my eyes open. Head down. I manage to fight my way closer to the stairs, but the wind only gets stronger. Head down? What? Anyway. I can't, at this rate, I can't get closer to Saber. Why does he even want to come to Saber? Like, she's good. Leave her alone. She's in the middle of a fight. Far ahead, I can see Saber fighting someone, but I can't do anything. No, even if I manage to get closer to Saber in this wind, I'll only hold her. Yeah, hold her back out. My left hand hurts again. Command spells engraved on the back of my hand tingle. I don't know what that means, but every time my hand tingles, I can't help but remember that scene, even though all that means is that she's, like, using her magical energy, I think, but okay. Damn it, screw this. Close my eyes and stretch my hand toward the stairs. I get down onto my hands and knees, hoping to avoid being blown off my feet, and begin crawling up the stairs. The wind intensifies. Even a novice mage like me can tell incredible amounts of magical energy are raging above me. My command spells tingle. The roar of the wind warns me something is happening up above. Wait, could this be Saber's magical energy? If it is, why would she do something so reckless in her state? What's her state? What? Why would she attack a servant? No, should she even be doing something like that? Saber can't recover magical energy. She shouldn't be wasting it like this on the fight. I need to step in and handle the fight and have step in and handle the fighting and have Saber support me instead. How does that even work? What? I know he's dumb, but, like, what the heck? Or else she might run out of magical energy. I mean, you literally have 3 batteries on your hand, man. You can just let her finish the fight, and if she still needs magical energy, here, replenish your magical energy with this command spell. If you need to. Huh? I stand up and start running up the stairs. Now's not the time to be crawling. I mean, what? I thought you were crawling because you couldn't run up the stairs before. I don't know what Saber has in mind, but I have to stop her. Huh? As I try to dash to the temple gate, something like a dagger flies right by me. I don't know what miracle let me dodge it. Who's there? I turn to look away from the stairs into the trees. There's no doubt about it. I didn't notice it in this torrential wind, but there's someone hiding nearby. You coward, quit hiding and come out. I shout for whoever is hiding in the tree line. The strong winds should have drowned my voice out. To my surprise, my voice echoes up the stairs. The wind died down. I look up toward the temple gate. There. I see a man in a kimono wielding a long sword and Saber's back. Hey, I know I'm trying to learn about your sword right now, but somebody else is trying to learn too, so we should stop fighting. Like, yeah, you're in a 7-way warrior, man. Like, yeah, no kidding. The man in the kimono smiles as he speaks. Like me, he's staring out into the forest. Why? Maybe she would win. This guy wouldn't be able to survive Fate Zero. In Fate Zero, there are at minimum 3 people always watching every single fight, no matter what. They have, like, invisible surveillance and everything. So it's like, oh, we can't fight. Somebody's watching us. Like, somebody's always going to be watching you. What are you talking about?
あまり気乗りのする話ではないな。
The man turns to climb the stairs, seeming totally disinterested.
待て、決着をつけないつもりか、アサシン。
お前がこの三門を越えるというのであらば、決着はつけよう。何者であれ、この門をくぐることは
No matter who they might be, except for any visitor or any monk who wants to come in here. Except for those people,
だが、あいにくと私の役目はそれだけでな。帰るというのであらば止める気はない。まあ、そこに隠れているたわけは別だが、気に入らぬ相手であれば死んでも倒産し、生きても返さん。
Assassin continues up the stairs.
踊らされたな、セイバー。だが、もう一人の気配に気がつかなかった私も同じだ。あのままでおけば危険のすべてを味わえたであろうが、良いところで邪魔が入った。そなたにとっては良好であったか。
Saber hangs her head in regret. Her intent to kill fades, not because of Assassin's words, but because Saber must have realized that keeping up the fight would leave her at a disadvantage.
そら、迎えも来ている。そこにいる小僧はお前のマスターであろう。盗み見をするたわけが、その小僧に標的を変える前に立ち去るがいい。
Just like that, Assassin disappears. It must be his way of telling us that he won't attack unless we keep going. Saber says nothing. She just stands there silently, her back to me. Hey, Saber! Even when I call her, she doesn't answer. Huh? Seems strange, so I begin climbing the steps. Saber's armor vanishes, defenseless, and in her simple blue clothing, she sways on the spot without turning around. Ah! I catch Saber in my arms as she falls backwards down the stairs. She doesn't move a muscle. She's unconscious, eyes shut in pain. Okay. I'm surprised that the person watching them didn't do anything, but I guess they left, I guess. We finally get home. It took me 2 hours. 2 hours! Well, I guess that makes sense because he was like 45 minutes by bike, so yeah, 2 hours by walking. To carry Saber back from the Ryodo Temple. I feel like that would actually reveal quite a lot if anybody was actually watching him do this. It's like, wait, what? You're carrying your servant back? What? Also, now I know where you live. like everything about that's like, I was worried the whole trip, I was worried the whole return trip, but we managed to get back safely. I lay Saber down in the hallway. Saber was really light. She probably only weighs about 40 kilos, so it shouldn't have tired me out so much. Or it wouldn't have if she'd been still. Had no idea that carrying a sleeping person, even a girl, could be so much work. If she'd been still? What? My fatigue is more mental than physical. The feel of her soft skin when I picked her up, her quiet breathing on me. It was all so distracting. Oh, whatever. Sheesh. Why'd she just faint like that? I look at Saber as she lays there sleeping. She's probably not completely unconscious. Even if she looks like she's out cold, she might open her eyes the moment I call her name. Damn, there was so much I wanted to tell her when I left the house, but I can't say anything with her sleeping looking like that. Fine, I'll give you an earful after you wake up, Saber. Even now, I keep my voice to a whisper. The moment I reach out to pick her up again...
いいけど、シローがどんな趣味してて何をしてるかなんて私には関係ないから。
For some reason, Tosaka's in the hallway watching, even though it's after 2 in the morning. Tosaka?
何よ、お化けでも見たような顔しちゃって。別に文句はないから続けていいわよ。私は水飲みに起きただけだし。
You got it wrong. This is what you think it is, really. I mean, it's a long story, but the short version of that, I was just trying to take Saber back to her room. Are you even listening to me?
ええ、まあそれなりに。
You're lying. You sound like you don't understand at all.
だから分かってる
Hi,
ってば。
Jinx. Oh my gosh.
セイバーが一人で戦いに行って、シローはそれを止めてきたんでしょ。 で、何らかのトラブルがあってセイバーが気絶して戻ってきた。どう？これでいい？
Yeah, that's amazing. That's exactly what happened. How did you know? Because it's obvious.
わかるわよ。セイバーが単独で戦いを仕掛ける可能性は高かったし、サーバントが戦いを始めればマスターにだって伝わるわ。だからこういう展開も十分予測範囲なわけ。
So Tosaka knew Saber would go out by herself.
で、どうするの？セイバーを部屋に連れて行くんじゃないの？ここに寝かしてたらいくらサーバントでも風邪ひくと思うけど。
Well, yeah, that's why I was going to take her to her room. I tried to lift her up, but it's kind of awkward with Tosaka watching. Tosaka, would you mind carrying Saber?
私が？もういいけど。じゃあお茶でも入れてくれる？少し二人の話に興味があるから。
Tosaka picks Saber up. Her being so understanding has me a little worried, but since I asked her for a favor, I'd better go make some tea. I thought he was about to collapse, but okay. Tosaka carries Saber off toward my room. Maybe he's not going to go to school the next day. Oh, man. Oh, imagine. I don't know. Meanwhile, I work on preparing tea in the kitchen. She said tea, but I'm assuming she doesn't want green tea, but the only black tea I have is from tea bags. Oh, no. Well, if I don't have it, I don't have it. I tell myself she can complain all she wants. Start pouring the hot water over the bag.
シロ、ちょっといい？
Tosaka comes back. Yeah, hold on a minute. I'll be right there. I put 2 teacups on the tray and carried it out to the living room. She's just going to be like, I'm disgusted. Tea bags. And there. Oh, Saber. Okay. Sitting next to Tosaka is Saber in her normal clothes. I thought she was already in her normal clothes, but okay. So Saber, why? I thought you were asleep.
眠ってたわよ。けど、そういつまでも続く眠りじゃないし、ついさっき目が覚めたの。
Weird to say that when he carried her for 2 hours. It's not like she was going to sleep forever. She slept for 2 hours and then she woke up 1 or 2 minutes after Rin picked her up. You know.
どうも、一気に膨大な魔力を使おうとして、体の方から一方的に機能を停止させられたみたいね。ほら、電気のブレーカーと同じよ。
Shut up. She doesn't even know what a breaker is. An electrical
強
breaker
制
is.
的に電源を切るってやつ。
Saber is quiet as Tosaka explains. You, seeing her back to her usual self, all the frustration I had earlier comes rushing back. Saber, do you have any idea what you tried to do? Yeah, obviously she
わか
did.
らないわけはないでしょ。私は竜道寺に赴き、アサシンのサーバントと戦いました。その折、私たちの戦いを監視していた第三のサーバントに気がつき、
Wait, a third
戦いを
servant?
中断しましたが、
I thought it was a master. Okay, now I don't know who it was. I thought for a second, well, maybe it was Lancer's or Rider's master. But if it's not a master and it's a servant, I think it's gotta be Rider. Would it be Caster, Berserker, Lancer? We had those two, and then Archer. So who am I forgetting? Yeah, it'd have to be Ryder. There's no one else it could be. Like, that's why it's really funny when you actually start keeping track of the servants, because it's like Berserker and Lancer are super obvious when they attack. They don't do anything subtle. And Saber and Archer are just here. And then we've seen Assassin now. So then that only leaves Ryder and Caster. And I mean, Caster could do stuff that's underhanded or not flashy, but I don't know. Ryder kind of feels more like an assassin, you know? Like she'd have physical tools. Whereas a mage, you know, a caster, a mage would have like paralysis or I mean, maybe laser beams, but you know, magical projectiles of some sort, you know? So, like, I think that's enough to distinguish the difference between caster and rider. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I want to know why you went and fought.
またそれですか。サーバントが戦うのは当然のことです。シロこそマスターであるあなたがなぜ私に戦うなというのです。
Well, that I do understand there's no way around fighting since I've decided to participate in the Holy Grail War. And I know me telling Saber not to fight is me contradicting myself. But even so, I keep thinking about that moment, and it's really annoying. I don't want to see something like that happen to her ever again.
私の方こそ聞きたい。シロは戦いを嫌っているようですが、そんなことで聖杯戦争に生き残る気があるのかと。あなたの方針に従っていては、他のマスターに倒されるだけではないのですか。
I mean, he's not really pacifistic. He just doesn't want her to fight. But yeah, I mean, I understand. It's not like that. I'll fight off anything that might pose a risk to us. I certainly don't intend to just let myself be killed so easily. But aside from that, I just don't want Saber to fight. Wrong. It's not that I dislike fighting. I just, this is much simpler. This is much simpler than that. You see, girls shouldn't get hurt. I'm a guy, so I can't let that happen. So I'm going to fight rather than let you fight. Okay, I'm just thinking about the other girls, other girl servants in this war, and like I guess he would just die if he fought them. I guess. I mean, honestly, so it's funny in the anime, it was kind of portraying him as sexist, and now that I think about it, he really is. Like calling him a pacifist isn't right, but calling him sexist is true. Like if you actually just imagine, oh, he doesn't believe that women should do anything. You know, but cook and clean, you know, or whatever. But like, yeah, if you think of it like that, it's like, okay, that actually makes some degree of sense. If you, like, everything makes way more sense if you just say, oh, you're sexist. It's like, oh yeah, this all falls into place then. It's not true, but like, it certainly aligns, right? So.
正気ですか、あなたは。サーバントはマスターを守るものです。私たちが傷つくのは当然であり、私たちはそのために呼び出されたものに過ぎない。サーバントに性別など関係ないし、そもそも無人である私を女扱いするつもりですか。
A woman.
今の言葉は訂正してください。シロ。
It is true. It is insulting. Saber leans toward me, her eyes blazing with fury. But I won't let her change my mind. It's absurd for her to say she's a warrior before she's a woman. How can someone so frail, light enough for me to carry easily, go and behave so recklessly? As if somehow their weight matters? Yeah, because if you were a guy and you weighed that much, you shouldn't be a fighter. You're not allowed to be a fighter or something, I guess. I don't know. No way in hell will I take back what I said. Sure, you might be strong, but you're still a girl. Don't get worked up over something so pointless, you fool. I'm surprised she doesn't kill him now. I mean, honestly, this is kind of embarrassing for Rin to be witnessing this. She must be like, he's awful. It's not trivial at all. Even if you don't think it's important, I do. Besides, it was a mistake from the beginning to have someone else fight on my behalf. I can't. That's literally the whole point of a servant, is that they fight on your behalf. That's the entire point. Also, he really is just ignoring the fact that Rin is a girl who is like an active fighter when she does fight. Like, so that's a little weird. I can't allow someone to protect someone as I can't allow someone to protect someone as helpless as me. I don't want someone to get hurt in my place. I'm the one who should be doing the saving. I mean, this at least makes more sense. Like, he doesn't need to say, women aren't allowed. Oh. Like, no, he could have just said, no, I'm the one that's supposed to save people. I won't allow other people save me. I have to save them. Like that. I think something like that would have made more sense than women aren't allowed to fight for any reason. Like, what? I've been working so hard to become the kind of person who can help people, just like my old man. Damn it. Listen, just don't fight, Saber. I'll do the fighting. You shouldn't have a problem with that, since it'll be the fighting... What? I feel like I'm, again, like getting a stroke every time I read this. I'll do the fighting. You shouldn't have a problem with that, since it'll be the fighting you want, Saber. I mean, if anything, you should be saying, since it'll be the fighting you don't want. Not that that makes any sense, but like it makes more sense at least.
無茶を言う人ですね、あなたは。人間がサーバントと戦えると思っているのですか。シローでは戦いにすらならないと実感しているでしょう。
I mean, this is even more absurd when you like think of it from the perspective that they both got attacked by one blow by Hercules. She got a really bad hit, and she's recovered for the most part. He got a hit that was so bad his body exploded, and he was luckily able to revive, but he doesn't understand just how lucky he is. But like, he really doesn't understand. It's like, you were in pieces, but okay.
ランサーに襲われた時を思い出してください。あの時、私が現れなければ間違いなくシローは殺されていた。それはどのようなサーバントが相手でも同じです。
You can't know that for sure unless we try. I just wasn't prepared, but now I can come up with tons of strategies. I might even be able to ambush one of them too. Wow, what a piece of shit. He's so awful. I just want to throw out there, he has no shot against Berserker, no shot against Archer or or Saber or Lancer. We know that because like Saber beat Archer easily, and then Archer was to a standstill with Lancer, and Saber was to a standstill with Lancer, kind of, sort of. I mean, technically she won, but whatever. So yeah, and then Saber struggled against Assassin, so okay, yeah, probably not there. So the only two maybes are Caster. Did I already miss one? No, Caster and Ryder. I guess those are the ones that we're unclear about. But like, come on. We already know 5 out of the 7 would just demolish him. But he's like, maybe I can still fight though. Like,
少子な。シローの立てた守りなど、神も同然です。
that is like kind of deceptive though, considering the fact that we do know that he can make like a magical shield or weapon by enforcing it. So she's kind of wrong, technically. What? I can't believe you'd say that, Saber. He really is sounding like a whiny baby.
人の身で英霊を打倒しようなどと、何を思い上がっているのですか。
It's because the one time he fought them, he died and didn't even understand how he survived. So he's like, well, I survived, so maybe it's fine. Arg. Saber and I glare at each other. Our conversation is going nowhere, and there is no sign of reaching any kind of compromise. Yeah.
違うわ、セイバー。シローはサーバントを侮っているわけじゃない。そのあたりを誤解しちゃうと話が進まないから、口を挟ませてもらうけど。
I mean, he kind of is insulting servants. I mean, more than anything, he's just ignorant of what a servant even is at this point.
リン、それはどういうことですか。
Like, what they should do is let's just beat up Shiro because he says he can defend himself. So I'm gonna beat up Shiro, and then you can beat up Shiro, and then Shiro will know that he's a little baby.
うん、要するにね、そいつ純粋にあなたが傷を負うのを嫌がってるのよ。どうしてか知らないけど、シローは献身と善意の塊だもの。ね、自分のことよりセイバーの方が大切なんでしょ、あんたは。
I mean, it's interesting that she says Saber because technically, almost everybody is more important than himself. But okay, that's not true. I never said Saber is important to me.
嘘嘘、そうでもなければ自分で戦うなんて言えないわ。だってあなた、自分じゃサーバントに勝てないって分かってるんでしょ。それでも戦うっていうのは自分よりセーバーのが大事ってことじゃない。
I mean, why are you saying you know damn well you can't be a servant when he just had like an entire paragraph where he explained that he does think he could fight a servant? I mean, if she puts it like that, maybe, but...
だから無茶でも戦う。勝てないって分かっていながら勝とうとする。その結果が自分の死でも構わない。なぜならあんたの中ではどうしてか知らないけど自分より他人の方が大切だからよ。
Well, I don't mean it to be like that.
そういうことよ。わかるでしょ、セイバー。あのバーサーカー相手にあなたをかばうようなバカなのよ、そいつ。だから本気で自分が戦うって言ってるの。
I don't know how much of Tosaka's words actually make it through to Saber, but Saber takes a deep breath and turns toward me.
シロ、
What,
あ
Saber?
なたが戦うことは認めます。ですが、それならば私にも考えがある。
What is it?
剣の鍛錬です。シロの時間が許す限り、私はあなたに剣を教える。それを認めるのなら、私もシロの意見を認めますが。
What? Does that mean she's going to train me? Yes. Is this because she's acknowledged my will to fight?
待った。それは心の贅肉よ、セイバー。シローに剣を教える？やめてよ。そんな気休めでサーバントに太刀打ちできるわけないじゃない。
I mean, it's like teaching him how to fight, basically. But it's also really far into the game to be doing this only now. Like, I feel like you wouldn't get more than like 5 days of training, maybe.
それは当然です。ですが知らないよりはマシでしょう。少なくとも戦闘時の迷いは薄れます。あとはシロ本人の決意にかけるだけですが、実践とは得てしてそういうものではないですか。向かないものには何を教えても身につくことなどありません。
I mean, is his hesitation really the issue? I thought the whole problem was that he ran to block an attack from Berserker without hesitation. I thought that was the problem.
まあ言われてみればそっか。
Oh yeah, I didn't know that ZZZ released a new end. Well, no, I did know. Sorry, no, actually, I did notice. It was like a new scientific lab in the middle of the new, void area. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I do remember that actually. I just happened to notice it. I didn't even know it was a new mission. I just was like, hey, I didn't do that mission yet. That's weird. It's honestly a little bit annoying though, because there's so much talking, and even when skipping the talking, it's like, oh man, I'm getting tired of playing this mode. But yeah, I have started playing like a little bit of it. I think I just have to get to the point where it's through the tutorial. Bougie? What's bougie mean? Anyway. Well, I guess if you put it that way, you're right.
殴り合う覚悟ってのは一度殴り合ってみないと一生つかないものね。
はい。ですから一度、いえ、 一度と言わず時間の許す限りシローには戦闘の結果としての死を体
I'll
験さ
see.
せ
Okay.
戦いに慣れてもらわなければ
Okay. But yeah, I'll probably try to play that this weekend. Yeah. I think I'm only playing that and Wuthering Waves at the moment. Still have to get used to how to use Remiel, because she's such a unique character. I think I have a good team, but yeah, now with this end game mode, I'm not sure if that's optimal, because there's stronger servants that stronger operators that they recommend to use, but I think I don't like the recommended operators. But yeah, I'll have to check out the mode more. Yeah, off field. Yeah, she is an off fielder. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's the faster you run through your rotation, the more damage she does. But some people don't go through their rotation very fast, like with Ye Shangwang. She's on field for a good almost 60 seconds, I feel like. And so it's they recommended to use Ye and Remiel together, but I was like, I don't think this is working quite well. And then they recommended, who was the third character? Oh yeah, what's her name? The girl who uses ink, and she probably works fine with Remiel, but yeah, again, I think Ye is just a really big eyesore in that lineup, basically. The two of them are talking pretty casually about some scary stuff. Hold on a minute, I never agreed to any.
じゃあ私は魔術講座にしとく。セイバーが体を鍛えるんなら私は知識を育てるわね。まあ初めからそういう約束だったし、明日から本格的に鍛え直してやりますか。
お願いします。リンがそうしてくれるなら私も剣のみに集中できる。
いいっていいって。じゃあ話も決まったことだし解散しましょう。明日はいろいろと忙しそうだから。
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Fire Emblem. Yeah, I actually saw a whole breakdown where the person that I was watching was like, I still don't understand the gun. Here's a whole trailer. It explains everything about the game and a whole bunch of story stuff. So wait, what about the gun though? There's time travel and there's some future stuff, and then it's wait, but why does that character got a gun though? And why is it only one character with a gun? And yeah, and the character seems pretty important too, seemingly. But yeah, I am planning to play that day one. It's gonna be the first Fire Emblem I've played since I think Fire Emblem Awakening. All the other ones didn't impress me that much. Yeah, the land hidden in the lead. Ooh boy. Yeah, I hope that a substantial amount of the game actually just straight up goes to the future and it just turns into sci-fi, because I know the games are all about medieval fights, but I mean, what's to stop them from going to the future and doing future stuff? Because usually when they do have time travel before this, it's still the medieval times, basically. Well, yeah, I mean, I really like Awakening. Let me look at what the Fire Emblem games are. I haven't looked at all of the ones that have come out in the last 15 years. I looked at all of them at one point. I was like, oh man, I'm never gonna play all these. Yeah, I liked Awakening, but I mean, I would actually kind of argue that Awakening is the beginning of the new age of Fire Emblem, kind of. A lot of systems nowadays are just really based on the Awakening stuff, so it might actually feel like it's out of date. But I mean, I don't know, it seemed pretty fun. I mean, I actually played Awakening in 2018, 2019, and it came out 2012, so it didn't feel that out of date. But it's not like I've played a whole bunch of other Fate games either, to be fair. Or sorry, Fire Emblem games. Fire Emblem 4. What even is Fire Emblem 4? I go back and look in the past, and like Fire Emblem 4 came out in 1996. if the fourth game in the series is 4, I guess. I mean, I'll agree that that's probably true. Just because, yeah, exactly. Because yeah, like you go back and look at just like looking at like one screenshot of gameplay for each of the games, I think that does enough to tell you whether you want to even play the game. I have no interest in anything before 3D. And actually, now that I think about it, what is Fire Emblem's experience with 3D? Because I think that they actually didn't have 3D. Dank Warlore. I think in 2005 on the Nintendo GameCube. Yep, you're right. Yeah, that's when they first technically started doing 3D. But the 3D is like you don't really feel the 3D real. Like yeah, okay, first on the GameCube, but you don't really feel 3D until I think Heroes. Wait, no, not Heroes. Sorry, until is that Echoes? No, not that one. Fate? Let me see. No, it wouldn't be Fate. Wait, when was Fate? Oh yeah, it was Fate. Oh no, it was Fate. Wait, was it Fate? No, there was a lot of 2D stuff. Yeah, very Game Boy Advance type of things. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a Game Boy franchise though, because there are a lot of stuff from the Famicom era, but it is very Game Boy coded in that Game Boy is a lot of Famicom style type looking games. Three Houses? No, Echo. No, Echoes of Shadow? No, I'm sorry. Warrior Heroes? Warrior. What was Warriors? Oh, right. That was nothing. I guess it was Three Houses. That's crazy. Yeah. I guess it is kind of timeless, kind of. I mean, I'm playing Dragon Quest 11 off stream a little bit, and yeah, the struggle is real. I was not expecting this much grinding. But yeah, Three Houses. I can't believe Three Houses is from 2019. I thought it was. Actually, I don't know if I thought it was earlier or later. That's kind of weird. Yeah, you got to look up where the metal slimes are, which I wasn't. I was actually expecting like more of a very straightforward RPG where you didn't have to grind. I know grinding is really normal in RPGs, but like I'm so tired of grinding, honestly. I'm so done with grinding. In that way, Fire Emblem can be really nice where, I mean, you're technically not grinding. Technically. That's so weird. I would actually say since Awakening, there has only been like 1, 2 mainline Fire Emblem games. There's Awakening, and then there's Fates in 2015, which was a pretty big leap forward. And then Three Houses in 2019. And then now Fortune's Weave. There's a whole bunch of other side games, but like all the side games are very unambitious, basically. Like pretty much just reusing previous ideas. Although, of course, they did have the mobile game, I think. So I know that that's been carrying them a bit longer than normal. I think that might be Engage, maybe? I don't know for sure. post. I mean, you don't need to play post game for Dragon Quest 11. To be fair, right? I mean, I mean, again, that's the thing. I don't remember if there was a difficulty slider. Maybe if there is a difficulty slider, yeah, maybe I'll put it to easy, or maybe I already did that. I don't know. It's been a bit since I played 11. Honestly, replayable in the series. I thought Three Houses was super replayable because you had to replay a completely different save file. I thought for every house. Although, yeah, there should be a bit of that in Fortune's Weave too. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how they don't make a new major Fire Emblem games very often. But yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, when the Game Boy was around, they were making a lot more of them. I guess, yeah, they've made more on the portable systems than any before it, for sure. Yeah, like you really would have to dedicate yourself to playing all the previous Fate. So I keep saying Fate, the previous Fire Emblem games. I'm actually in the middle of trying to catch up in the Fate series right now, actually. Which I think I've actually mostly caught up in. I think, kind of, sort of. It's a little complicated, but yeah, there's Fate Stay Night, and then Fate Ataraxia, and there hopefully is going to be Fate Extra pretty soon, and that's pretty much all the major games that I have to catch up in. So that'll be nice. But yeah, Fire Emblem, I don't know. A lot of the stories are just overlap so much that, like, after I beat Awakening, I was like, oh, I'll go look at all the other games I could play. And I was like, why does it seem like the plots on most of these are so similar? And even the newer ones are also like so similar. So it was like, this seems less interesting than it could be. But Fortune's Weave, well, no, that's true. Fortune's Weave's the ultimate goal seems like it's the same as normal, but the journey to get there does seem very unique. Probably. I mean, they're hiding a lot of information, to be fair. But yeah, I remember thinking, oh, Fates looks so good. Fire Emblem Fates looks so good. And then like I read the story more and more and more, and it's like, wait, this is too similar to Awakening. Five endings, huh? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see just how far they go in Fortune's Weave. I mean, normally I don't like replaying games, honestly. Like, just focus on one or maybe two really, really good endings, like Persona, you know. Just work on. I mean, I know they have quantity and quality, but I still would rather more quality and way less quantity. Yeah, I'll never see it coming. Yeah. Tosaka waves goodbye and disappears into the outbuilding.
私も休みます。シロも休憩を取ってください。明日は道場で汗を流してもらいますから。
She gives a short bow and goes back to her room. She gives a short bow, goes back to her room. All that remains in the living room is 2 cups of untouched tea and 1 dumbfounded boy. I never agreed to this. My words go unheard. Anyway, what was it? Already a confusing situation has grown a hell of a lot more complicated. I can't even begin to imagine what will happen today. I'm going to sleep. I should at least save my energy. Everything starts with the body. Well, yeah. The only thing I can do is to cling on to my fragile hope that as long as my body is strong enough, I will be able to endure whatever torture they might throw at me. He says as he's about to have maybe 4 hours of sleep. After running around for like 3 hours straight. Good luck with that one. It's like, I didn't ask for this. It's like, you literally said you wanted to do all the fighting. And you're clearly not ready to do fighting. So good luck with that, man. Sword and magic. Hopefully these days go by quickly. I think this is like build up to the first major fight in the story. Or major fight. I wouldn't want anyone to get sad if I can help it.
自分程度の力添えで周りが幸せなら、それはこの上なく住みやすい世界だと思うんだ。
I was always Kiritsugu's favorite saying. The man who I saw as a champion of justice was saying he thought he was a failure, that he wasn't good enough. He didn't need to explain it to me. The worlds the young me and the grown-up Kiritsugu lived in were too different, and so the standards for being a hero of justice were too different too. What? Kiritsugu like grew up in like the 1990s and 1980s. The times, they're too different. It's like 2006 now. He grew up in the 80s and the 90s. It's just so different, man. The times have changed. Like, what are you talking about, man? When I was young, this house was my entire world. So my old man, Fujini, myself, and my favorite shed were the only things that needed protecting. All I thought I had to protect was what I could see around me. But Kiritsugu wanted to do something for those he couldn't see or reach. I was edgy as a child. This is a really interesting way to explain his life. Knowing his actual backstory, it's like this is very true. Honestly, he's underselling just how crazy Kiritsugu got. There will always be those that can't be saved. You just can't save everything. If in the process of trying to save 1,000 you overlook 500, then I will abandon 100 to save 900. That is the most efficient way. That is the ideal, Kiritsugu once told me. Of course, I got mad hearing that. It really ticked me off because I didn't have to be told that, since I knew that already, because I knew firsthand that it was that very ideal that led me to being saved. I didn't need to be reminded about something so obvious, but I still believe that a hero of justice could save everyone despite those limitations, because that's what a hero of justice was. Someone who could still perform miracles, no matter how idealistic or unattainable they may be. What did Kiritsugu say about heart again? I don't remember. It's not often I reminisce about something from so long ago. I must be in a deep sleep. Otherwise, I wouldn't be dreaming in the first place. See? Saber's waking me up. It's pathetic. What? I pulled upright and out of my futon. It's 6:30 in the morning. Oh, that's so late. Because he wakes up at like 5:50. Fresh sunlight pours in from outside. Saber is staring right at me. I overslept. Sorry, I'll get up right away. Oh, great. Sakura and Tosaka are arguing? What's going on? Hold on. Don't throw me into a situation I don't understand just as I'm waking up. Is that happening in Tosaka's room? Breakfast. Got it. I'll head there now. Oh, but there's something I forgot to do. Good morning, Saber. Thanks for waking me. Oh. He said hello to me. My emotional awakening has begun. I greet her and then I head out to the hallway. But seriously, what the hell did Tosaka do to start an argument with Sakura? Tosaka! In the living room. There's no sign of Sakura. Tosaka is alone, casually watching the weather forecast on TV. She turns around as if to ask if something had happened. Huh? That's weird. It doesn't look like she was fighting with Sakura at all. Morning. Hey, Tosaka, I heard you and Sakura were arguing. Is that true?
そっか。セイバーから聞いたのか。
Or maybe you were too
え
loud.
え。客観的に見ればそういうことになるけど、別に大したことじゃないわよ。
That sounds like an argument to me.
しばらくここには来るなって言いつけただけだから。
Ugh, she's so casual about basically banning Sakura from my house. That's ridiculous. Sakura already said no to staying away from this house. There's no way she would agree even if we asked again.
ないけど、交換条件を出したら帰ってくれたわよ。さくらが1週間ここに来なければ、私はおとなしく家に戻るって言ったの。それで交渉成立。しぶしぶだけど帰っていったわ。あ、そうそう。シローによろしくだって。
I mean, technically it's only for a week, which makes sense. You did what? Why would she do something like that without telling me? Actually, I shouldn't yell at her for it. Tosaka's just done something I should have. You're right. Sorry for making you be the bad guy so early in the morning. You must feel terrible, Tosaka.
いや、別に面倒でも嫌でもなかったけど、なんだってそんなこと言うわけ？
You yelled at somebody to never not come back to a house for a long time? That seems pretty unpleasant. Because you weren't you and Sakura friends? Telling Sakura to leave not once but twice doesn't sound like a fun job. That's why I feel bad. I'm the one who should take charge. I made you do the dirty work again.
いいけどそんなの。私だって自分の安全第一でさくらを追い出したんだし、シローにそう謝られる筋合いなんてないわ。
Huh? What do you mean for your own safety?
だってシンジがマスターだったんでしょ。あいつのことだからシロンとこにさくらがいるって分かったら目の敵にするに決まってるもの。だからシンジとの決着がつくまではさくらはここにいさせない方がいいのよ。
I mean, he's gonna target here anyway, but okay. I mean, like, what? What's the difference? He already said that he was gonna attack Tosaka. Like, what? I get it. She makes a good point. Shinji said he doesn't tell Sakura anything. I don't think he was lying. But if he finds out his little sister comes here so often, he might get the wrong idea. You're right. It could look to Shinji like we're taking Sakura hostage.
そういうこと。もっともそんなことは別にして、ここが危険なことに変わりはないでしょ。
Trying to remember, is Sakura actually mostly out of the picture from now on? I think that might be true. We'll see.
あんまり頻繁に夜出歩かせるのもなんだし、しばらくは遠慮してもらった方がいいのよ。それがさくらのためだし、私たちのためでもある。
I mean, Sakura might still get used in her house, but okay, sure, whatever. She's like, the Mados are such good people. Yeah, you're right. I feel bad for Sakura, but I'll just have to apologize and ask her for forgiveness later. Though I won't be able to explain myself even when the time comes. Why? I mean, after the war's over, you could just be like, hey, mages exist. I was in a war. It's over now. This is really getting to me. I feel really bad about turning Sakura away like this, even if it's temporary. She's been so unselfish about helping me for all this time. I mean, it's 1 week. It's not a big deal.
あら、随分と元気がないこと。さっき人を怒鳴りつけてくれた異性はどこに行ったのかしらね。エミヤ君はそんなに桜がいないと寂しいのかな。
Tosaka grins maliciously. Oh crap, I've known she'd tease me whenever I show a vulnerability, but I went and did it again. Leave me alone. Sakura was the symbol of peace at our house. She offset whatever Fujini and I were lacking. So of course I'm down about us sending her away for our own selfish reasons.
なんだ、よくわかってるじゃない。それだけ言えれば合格よ。少しは勝ち切ってのが出てきたみたいね。
What are you talking about?
わからない？つまりね、戦いが終われば桜は戻ってくるでしょ。シロは聖杯なんていらないって言うけど、それなら今まで会ってくれた平穏のために戦えばいい。ほら、目的がはっきりしていいじゃない？
He already had a clear goal. His clear goal was that he wanted to end the war without fighting. I mean, it was a bad goal, but that was the methods. So being like, well, it's a clear goal now that you know that you're fighting to get a happy life back. It's like, that does not solve any of this. Tosaka smiles her very big smile. When she puts it like that, I really have no choice but to agree. Damn, I don't know what to say. What she said there confirms that she's both mean-spirited and ridiculously awesome at the same time. What? How's she awesome? Oh yeah, I want to throw out there. I want to throw out there. It was a solid hour of that interlude. And I thought it was like, oh, it's going to be like 30 minutes, man. Like 30 minutes tops. When I ended last stream. And it's like, no. Full on 1 hour, over 1 hour. Like, freaking sheesh. Like, barely anything happened. What, so Sakura won't be coming here for a while? Yeah, that's what's going on. Why don't you do your parents a favor and go home once in a while for a change? Gramps was complaining about his daughter neglecting him. Okay.
それにね、さくらちゃんがいないんなら余計私がしっかりしなくちゃダメじゃない。シロだって男の子だもん。万が一があったら懲戒免職よ。そうなったら責任取ってくれる？シロ。
That'll never happen. Sadly, since I'm a man, I can't really confidently deny that.
エミヤ君、何かしらね、今の止めは。
She glares. Tosaka's eyes bore into me from one side. I don't think anything would happen. Tosaka's not staying here for fun, you know. I sure know that.
そう。よかった。やっぱりエミヤ君は信用できますね、先生。
You know, she was right, though. Fujimura ended up being correct in every route. In every route, she was so right. It's crazy.
当然です。シロは私でもちょっと趣味に走りすぎたかっていうぐらい落ち着いてるんだから。
Saber continues to eat in silence as she observes the two interacting. It's been 2 days, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this.
あ、そうそうシロ。弓道部のことなんだけどね。三辻さんが怪我したっていう話知ってる？
Mitsuzuri, did she pick a fight with someone in another club again? Honestly, she really needs to calm down. She's going to be a third year soon. But how's she doing? Is she hurt bad?
それは大丈夫。軽い捻挫だって。学校の帰り道に怪しいやつに襲われたそうよ。あの子って俊足でしょ。スパーッと勢いよく逃げたんだけど、最後に転んで怪我したみたい。
So, she wasn't attacked. She just saw a shady guy, and she was going to do something, and then she got spooked and ran and then tripped. I see, I'm glad nothing bad happened, but honestly, whoever tried to attack her is either a real daredevil or they're just reckless. Either way, they were a fool, I just thought.
てっきり逃げたんじゃなくてノックアウトしたって思ったんでしょう。
Fujini grins. Yep, she sure knows Ayako Mitsuzuri well. Yeah, it's rare for Mitsuzuri to run away. But I guess she's not so tough against thieves. I suppose things worked out for the best. Something like that will probably teach her a thing or two about being feminine. See? Sexist. Like, once again. I munch on my rice, nodding approvingly about my sexist attitudes.
ねえねえ、エミヤ君。
Suddenly, Rin Tosaka slaps my shoulder, smiling at me.
私からもちょっと耳寄りな話してあげよっか。
Oh, what? I doubt it'll be more interesting than what I just heard.
今まで黙ってたけどね。私と綾子って仲良しなの。休みの日は2人で遊びに行くぐらいの仲って知ってた？
Sorry, one second. Wait, why are she and Mitsuzuri friends? Come again?
今の話、一言一句間違えずに伝えてあげるから安心して。エミヤ君も喜んでたって言ったら、綾子ったらそりゃあもう瓦10枚はぶち抜くぐらいに喜ぶんじゃないかな。
What did you say that was bad? I would like to amend my statement. See, it was just a figure of speech. It's not something I'd be proud if people heard, though I would Really appreciate it if you kept it to yourself.
そうなの？なら黙っていてもいいけど、それなりの条件がないときついかな。ほら、ついポロッ
You know,
と口に出ること
Rin
ってあ
just
る
keeps
しね。
adding stressful situations for no good reason. I can't believe this. Sure, you sound sincere, but I'm not buying it.
あら、ごめんなさい。別に楽しいわけじゃないから。
There's no
誤解しないでね。
misunderstanding here. She's enjoying this. Got it. I'll start making what breakfast from now on. Wait, what? Yeah, I forget exactly who was supposed to be making breakfast. You said it earlier. You mentioned that breakfast should have bread.
上的ね。マーマレードだけじゃなくて、いちごのジャムも忘れ
I
ない
thought she
でく
doesn't
れると
eat
嬉しいわ。
breakfast. Are we just forgetting she doesn't eat breakfast now? So is she gonna buy this? Like, I don't know. I guess he's got $300, so I guess he can buy it. I guess. I don't know what you have against Japanese breakfast, you foreigner wannabe. Yeah, it's true. I have no idea why she acts like she's not Japanese when she's 100% Japanese. I don't get it at all. Like they're like, she can make Chinese food, and I'm like, what? Why? I can't believe you would so radically change our breakfast just to suit your needs, you tyrant.
いいえ、それは違います。朝食がパンになるのは私も嬉しい。加えて半熟の卵を用意していただければ文句はないのですが。
I mean, were they making any eggs? It almost seemed like it was eggless. Saber jumps right into the discussion. That's so. Fine. You all just want Western style food, damn it. Sakura makes a Western style breakfast one time and it goes right to your heads. Fine then, I'll serve bread for tomorrow. So no more complaints, right? So what was said here stays here. Don't you dare blab about this to Mitsuzuri. I huff and shove my rice into my mouth without looking at either of them. And then...
なんでそんな無駄なことするのかな。
Fujini, who had been watching our conversation with a look of wonderment, finally speaks up. What do you mean pointless?
だって東坂さんが話さなくても私が三辻さんに話しちゃうじゃん。こんな面白い話黙ってられないよ私。
What was interesting about it? Then we won't have Western style breakfast then. Fujini shakes her head disapprovingly as she eats. Actually, I need to think of a way to deal with her, or I'm really in trouble. Breakfast ends and it's 7:30. Like, wow, stressing him out after 4 hours of sleep. I don't know. Or did he make breakfast too? I think he made breakfast too, and then they just insulted him. Like, you should make Western style food. You know, we're gonna blackmail you into making Western style food because you insulted somebody. I guess technically, I guess, like freaking stupid. Fujini surprisingly stays back and suggests that the three of us walk to school, but we can't do that. I made a decision last night. Now that I've said I won't rely on Saber, I can't afford to take it easy anymore. Gonna run to school, maybe.
それじゃ行こっか。戸締まりはいい？シロ。
No, don't worry about locking up. I'm not going to school today. Oh. I waved Fujini and Tosaka off. Fujini freezes, stupefied for a few
ち
seconds.
ょっと学校を休むってどういうことよ。え？お？
Tosaka beat Fujini to the chase.
そうよシロ。学校休むってシロどこも悪くないでしょ？
No, but my scar hurts. You know how scars hurt when the weather changes? It's like that.
それ嘘でしょシロ。
Yeah, but let me off the hook just for today, Fujini. It's not that I don't like school. There's something I have to do, and it's just more important right now. So let me go.
もう
Zero.
そんな言い方されたら
Discussion.
私の負けじゃない。シロが事情を話さないときっていつもそうなんだもん。昔っからそうだよね。
Fujini is complaining, but at least she understands. So there it is. I'll leave the school to you, Tosaka.
そう。まあ、エミヤくんがいようがいなかろうが、こっちには支障はないし。確かに悪くない選択よ、それ。
Yeah, leave the house to me. I'm not going to work for a while either, so I won't be leaving the house much.
わかった。それじゃあ行ってくるね、シロ。怪我で学校を休むんだから、あんまり外に出ちゃダメよ。
それじゃあね。今回はいいけど、次からは事前に相談してよね、こういうことは。
I mean, technically, he came up with that idea like out of nowhere. I should probably clean the floors. Told Saber to meet me here a little later. I always just do the bare minimum of cleaning in here. It's been years since I sparred with anyone in this place. It'd probably be rude to both the dojo and Saber if I don't clean up a little. But honestly, I don't know what she's going to do for sword training. I sparred using a shinai with Kiritsugu many times, but Kiritsugu and I never really cared about proper form. It was more like a couple of amateurs beating each other up. I really never had any plans to practice kendo seriously, and I was really only taught how to fight opponents wielding a sword. I was never keen on using tools in a fight. My interest was always making and fixing them. Why were you keen on... Why were you more interested in making and fixing weapons, but not using weapons? When you said you wanted to be a hero of justice. Like, what? I want to be a hero of justice. Here, I made your gun, sir. Go be a hero of justice. In that sense, this might be the first time for me to learn proper swordsmanship in any serious sense. Saber's swordsmanship is different than kendo, but I'm sure there are some things in common. And I don't think they're so different I won't be able to keep up. I mean, I feel like Saber uses kendo straight up. I think kendo generally is not samurai sword fighting. It's more like direct, straightforward moves. I mean, it depends, maybe. Technically. But, like, I don't know. Every time I've seen Kendo Club in anime, it always seems like simple strikes. Slow form. Straightforward movement. You're not doing, like, tricks or maneuverability or anything like that. Which seems kind of like Saber's. I hear the door open. Saber arrives precisely on time. That works out well since I've just finished cleaning up. Sorry I made you wait. I was thinking of having you teach me here.
どうかしましたか、シロ。何か意外なものを見るような顔をしていますが。
No, it's nothing. I was just surprised that you're still in the same clothes. I thought you were going to wear your other outfit, then use up her magic. We're training with swords, so I immediately thought of Saber in her armor, since that's what she always wears when she's fighting.
はあ、武装している方がいいというのでしたら着替えますが。そうですね。私がどうかしていました。たとえ試合とはいえ、鎧をまとわないのはシロに失礼です。申し訳ありません。すぐに着替えてきます。
Oh, that's not what I mean. I just misunderstood. It's fine. I actually prefer you in this outfit to your armor. Because I'm sexist.
ですが、この服装ではシロの気が済まないのではないのですか?
That's satisfactory. I mean, you don't look like you're dressed for a bout right now, but it shouldn't matter as long as you're comfortable. Wearing armor all day will just tire you out.
それはそうですが、この服装で剣を振るうのはおかしくはないでしょうか?
Why would you think that? It's not weird. You look good. I think you look better right now than you do in your armor.
理解しかねます。この服装は確かに気軽なのですが、戦闘には耐えられないでしょう。セーバーとしては不向きな姿だと思うのですが。
Don't you dare wear that outfit in a fight, dummy. You're a girl, Saber. Girls look good in outfits like this, so this is fine. And then I return the rag I'd been cleaning to the bucket, and I bring back two shinai that I've been leaning against a wall. So what are you planning for training, Saber? I'm leaving everything to you to decide, so tell me anything, no matter how absurd it might be. Toss her the bamboo sword. Saber seems distracted as she catches the shinai and stares at me quietly. Huh? Is there a problem with bamboo swords? But don't tell me you want to use wooden or even real blades. I mean, isn't bamboo wood? She's really a tough instructor. This is beyond anything I imagined.
いえ、そのようなことはありません。せっかく優れた試合用の模造刀があるのですから、こちらを使うことにしましょう。
Saber Draws in a deep breath. It goes right back to being the normal Saber as I know her. That's a relief. It'd be too noisy to spar with wooden swords. So what are we going to do? You going to make me strengthen my body by swinging the sword 500 times or run laps?
その必要はないでしょう。私から見てもシローの運動能力は水準に達しています。これ、シローは魔術師としては未熟ですが、戦士としては悲観したものではないと思います。幼い頃からよほど懸命に鍛えてきたのですね。
Well, that's all I was really good at. You don't have to be talented in Magecraft to work out physically.
それが幸いしたのでしょう。ランサーに襲われて死に至らなかったのはシローのそういう努力の賜物ですから。ですが、それは武器になるほどのものではありません。人間には限界がある。シローの体はその限界の域には程遠いし、突破することも難しいでしょう。ですから私が教えることはただ戦うことだけです。
What do you mean just fight? Based on your tone, it doesn't sound like you'll teach me how to fight. Survive.
当然です。一朝一夕で戦闘技術など身につくはずがないでしょう。私にできることはマスターに一回でも多く戦いを味わってもらうことだけです。そもそも人に物を教えることは苦手なのですから、私に指示されても困ります。
I don't remember how she actually learned the sword. It's weird to say I'm not a skilled teacher. It's like, well, anybody who is a master swordsman is skilled enough to make somebody a somewhat okay fighter, you know? Hello? Having her sound so proud about that makes it a bit awkward for me as her student. So we're just going to have a bunch of matches?
ええ。ただそれだけです、マスター。寸止めはなし。お互い相手を殺すつもりで打ち合いましょう。
I mean, obviously she's gonna hold back, but okay.
そうですね。1時間もすればどういうことなのか理解してもらえると思います。
Saber readies herself, gently gripping her shinai. Huh? I thought my head wondering what she means, but I also grip my shinai as Saber does. In that instant, my vision goes black. Saber is teaching me one very simple lesson. No matter what I do, no matter what strategy I come up with, none of it will change the outcome of a fight against someone I just don't have a chance of beating. How that hurt. It's definitely broken.
折れているのならもっとたくましい腕になっています。重度の内身ですが、今のシローならじきに回復するでしょう。
Ironically, he probably wouldn't normally have recovered very much. He actually probably would have been severely injured, but I'm not going to go into that. He is healing for a very specific reason, and everybody just really waves off his issues. Okay, then let's keep going.
まだ続けるのですか、シロー。確かに内身ではありますが、すぐに動いていいものではありません。
The person who didn't hesitate to charge at my arm. Fine, if you don't feel like it, I'll use this opportunity. I got her. Nope, obviously.
人の話を聞いてください。明らかにシローは疲労しています。そんな体ではせっかくの修練も無駄になるのですから、休憩を入れるべきです。
But it's disgraceful for you to beat me so badly when you're so obviously taking it easy on me. If I can't even get you to so much as raise a brow, I'll be too frustrated to even collapse.
驚くというのでしたら、もう十分驚いています。強情だとは思っていましたが、まさかこれほどとは思っていなかった。
Well, sorry about that. I hate losing.
ええ、それは嫌というほど思い知りましたので結構です。ともかく休憩にしますから、シローも竹刀を置いてください。床も汗で滑りやすくなっている。極限状態での模擬戦でもなし、疲労困憊して足場も不確かなどという状態では意味がありません。
Why not? I thought combat training was supposed to simulate worst case scenarios. If not...
それこそ無意味です。いいですか、シロー。あなたがサーバントと戦うというのでしたら、体力は万全、足場は完全、逃走経路は確保済みという状況以外での戦闘は無意味です。あなたは全てが充実した状態でなければサーバントと戦いにさえならない。 最悪の状態で戦うという時点であなたは選択を間違えているのです。
So what you're saying is that I shouldn't even bother trying to fight in situations like this.
そういうことです。そうなってはどのような奇跡もシロを救いはしないでしょう。あなたの戦いはまず自身を万全にし、的確な状況を模索することから始まるのです。
Got it. Then I'd like to take a break. Slump against the wall and slowly slide down to the floor. Phew, I exhale. Air should be what I feel coming from my lungs, but instead there is only heat. Ouch. While my body is throbbing with pain, I glance towards the clock on the wall. A little past 11 o'clock. We started around 9, so we've been sparring for about 2 hours. During the first hour, I was just getting beat up. Saber struck suddenly, then I blacked out. I woke up thinking I would be more careful and then just got knocked right back out. After getting beaten up repeatedly, my body seemed to get used to it. Maybe my anger just triggered some latent power, but eventually I did manage to block the first blow. The problem came after that. Here's a thought. Would humans dare to, or even be able to fight back against an opponent who was so much stronger and more skilled? You, Oni. The answer was no, because I blacked out the instant I flinched. After that, it was just a repeated show of a cat cornering a rat. If no matter how I tried to block the attack, I was just going to fall mortally wounded, then I had no choice but to attack in desperation. Of course, she deflected my attacks easily and knocked me out, but as I got used to it, I started getting enough time and awareness into it that the next attack would kill me. So I had just enough time to think to myself, oh crap. I guess in a general sense, I was getting into the swing of things. So after that, I went on the defensive. My intuition kept screaming that the next attack would knock me out, so I tried to avoid it like any living thing would. Managed to parry Saber's Shinai attacks as they rained down upon me, and while I waited for an opening to counterattack, she struck a fatal blow. Managed to stand up and think that next time I'd last longer, then think maybe I should just go on the offensive before she can strike, since I couldn't hold out anyway. That went on for 2 hours. I'm not sure this is going to make me stronger. I mean, again, survival. You're actually learning survival capabilities. But I do think it's helping me get used to fighting. Practice, so I'm neither confused nor too calm in the face of the enemy. All I'm doing is teaching myself that I'm a single mistake away from death. But if you asked me if I thought this was meaningless, I'd say no. With no effective weapon to use, the feeling of constantly being on edge is the most important thing I have.
お疲れ様でした。どこか痛むところはありますか、シロ。
The next thing I know, Saber is right next to me. I'm so exhausted, I'm dripping sweat all over the floor. Saber isn't even breathing hard. It'd be hard to find anywhere that doesn't hurt at this point. You really didn't hold back, Saber. It actually felt extraordinary having you just come at me without even having a chance of defending myself. I have to admit, I'm saying that entirely because I'm a sore loser.
はい。シロに合わせて加減はしましたが、容赦はしないよう心がけました。手心を加えては戦いにはなりませんから。
Yeah, thanks to this training, I think I can calmly deal with a Doberman running at me with its leash off. Then again, I wouldn't be good enough yet if it's just a Doberman, so I'll still need more training. I'm in a moment of honest reflection. I've always thought I trained myself more than the average person, but now I'm ashamed for throwing in the towel after just 2 hours of sparring with Saber.
いいえ、そのようなことはありません。シロの打ち込みは一心で力がありました。時にあまりの熱心さに対応を忘れたほどです。
She forgot to strike back sometimes. Oh, I'm suddenly embarrassed again. For a while, we'd just been two people sparring with our Shinai with no thought given to being a man and a woman. But now she's caught me off guard. Hold on, I'm going to go drink some water.
水ですか？それでしたら私が汲んできますから、シロは休んでいてください。
Saber goes to get some water. Ooh, that was a close one. Huh? Close. What was so close? I drink the water Saber brings me. It must still be break time, as Saber is sitting formally in a kneeling position. Saber is so beautiful when she does that kind of thing. I'm not saying that as a man finding a woman attractive, but because I find her beautiful as a human being. It's still strange to think that she is Saber, a servant and someone dedicated to fighting. Right now, there's only me and Saber. This might be a good opportunity for me to strike up a conversation, so I'll ask the reason to fight. I want to know why she seeks the Holy Grail. I want to know more about Saber before she became a servant. Isn't this the same thing? I don't know. I need a trump card. It'd be nice to have some sort of secret blade technique or something. We're going to do the first one. Why does she want to fight so much? I might be able to understand her convictions a little more if I find out why she wants the Holy Grail. But can I really ask her that? Saber, can I ask you something?
はい。何でしょう、シロ。
Well, there's something I forgot to ask. You're lending me your power because you want the Holy Grail, right? So what is your wish for the Holy Grail?
聖杯を求める理由ですか。ただ欲しいからではいけないのでしょうか。聖杯は万能の器です。手に入れれば叶わない願いはない。それを求めることに理由などありません。
I know that she's trying to hide her backstory, but I still thought maybe she'd be at least vague about what her wish is. No, that's not what I'm asking. Saber, you're dodging the question.
シロ、それは。
I'm not asking why you're seeking it. I want to know the wish you want granted. But if you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. Wishes aren't always something to be shared. Saber closes her mouth, embarrassed. I'm not surprised. Saber didn't form a contract with me to help me. I mean, she kind of did, but okay. Masters are the only ones who can obtain the Holy Grail, so she is only here to assist with that. And that's why she's hesitant to tell me her wish. But most of all, I don't want to hear her tell me about her selfish wish. So I shouldn't have asked. Besides, it's disrespectful for someone without a clear wish to ask about someone else's wish.
シロ、それはマスターとしての命令ですか。
That catches me off guard. Saber turns to look at me, her gaze as serious as her tone. No, I'm not. I didn't mean it that way. I was just curious. Sorry for asking such a dumb question.
いえ、確かにサーバントとしてマスターには己が望みを口にしておかねばなりません。シロ、私が聖杯を求める理由はある責務を果たすためです。私は生前に果たせなかった責任を果たすため聖杯の力を欲している。
She looks straight at me. I see no deceit in her eyes. Fulfill an obligation, and when you say lifetime, do you mean before you became a servant?
はい。ですが、私にも本当のところはわからない。私はただやり直しがしたいだけなのかもしれません。
Saber looks down quietly. For a moment, she looks like a lost child seeking repentance. Okay, I'm actually relieved. I was worried you were going to say something Tosaka would say, like world domination.
リンが聞いたら怒りますね。彼女はそういうことを口にする人間ではありません。彼女ならば聖杯を自分のためだけに使うでしょうが、それは決して世を混乱に陥れるものではないでしょう。
You think so? I still think she probably shouldn't be the one to get the Holy Grail. I nod to myself. All the while, Saber watches me, her expression gentle. This conversation ends here. I should never have brought this up. The mood between the two of us eases thanks to the mention of Tosaka, and I decided it'd be best not to pry. But the ache in my heart still remains. Even though I was relieved to know Saber's wish was not a materialistic one, I felt there was still something amiss with it. I mean, she's not being specific. Wait a second. Let me see. I want to see the flow chart. Okay, that's what I thought. I felt like this was probably the right answer. There wasn't many. Honestly, these two felt like the same, but at least this one was not specifically tell me your past. It was just indirectly tell me your past a little bit. And it's okay, that's something. This one was no, she's just going to say no, probably. And then this one was no, there is no secret technique. You just gotta train. Hard work. Man, getting freaking spoiled here. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I didn't see this one. I forget what this one was. Anyway, now that we've talked a bit, my body's cooled down, so we should get back to training. Saber, let's go again. I've had a chance to rest.
そうなのですか。見たところ体の熱は下がったようですが、 痛みの方はまだ収まっていないでしょ
It's fine, just bruises, so I can deal with it. Besides, I'm healing automatically now anyway.
しかしそれで悪化しては鍛錬の意味がないもうしばらくは様子を見るべきだと思いますが
It's fine, I want to do more before Tozaka comes home. I wouldn't want her seeing me in this state.
わかりました確かにいずれ敵となる凛にシローの腕前を知られるのはよくありませんね多少無茶とは思いますがそういうことでしたらペースを上げていきましょう
Saber picks her shinai up from the floor, but then a really out of place sound echoes through the dojo. Saber? I think her stomach is growling.
空腹のようです鍛錬に夢中で気がつきませんでした
Oh yeah, now that you mention it, it's lunchtime. I can't blame her for her stomach growling. I'm not that hungry yet, but if Saber is, we should have lunch. And if during that time I heal more, that's even better. Hey, it's lunchtime anyway. I'll go buy some groceries. Okay. So you can rest in the living room.
シロー外出するなら私も付き添いますが
I'll be fine. I'm just going to the shopping district nearby. No one would attack me in broad daylight. You might just attract more attention if you did come with me.
本当に危険はないのですね
I'm sure. Just wait here. I'll be right back. Sure. Sure. I grab my wallet, head out. Doesn't take more than 10 minutes to get to the shopping district by bike. That's actually kind of far, honestly. 10 minutes by bike is pretty substantial. The bicycle I take from the garage today is Unit 2. Unit 1 is still parked in front of Ryudo Temple. Right, you can bring that back. Bike down the hill. Haven't gone to the shopping district midday on a weekday since I was a kid. Yeah, that's true. Isn't this kind of a big deal that he's a student doing this? The intersection is packed with housewives returning from midday shopping. They're coming from the neighborhood shopping center Sakura and I frequent. I finished buying a bag of groceries, enough food to make lunch for 2 and a light snack. I don't buy anything for dinner since Tosaka's in charge of that tonight. I mean, you can still buy the ingredients, but I do buy enough bread for tomorrow's breakfast. I don't know how to make strawberry jam, so I reach for the cheapest. Well, no, that might get some complaints, so I go for an expensive jar instead. Damn, this is really eating into my wallet. Why the hell do I have to spend 1,000 yen on something so sugary? I knew he was going to say that. Because that's what I was like kind of wondering. I'm like, she's like, ooh, I want jam. And I'm like, doesn't he have to buy that? Like, isn't that kind of a big deal? But $10 on expensive strawberry jam. And this is in 2005. $10? Is it foreign? It seems like it's foreign. I load the groceries onto my bike as I grumble, but then I feel someone tugging at me from behind. Huh? Turn around wondering who it is. I got spoiled though. Standing there is a silver-haired little girl. You're... I stumble backwards, knocking over my bike. While I brace myself, the girl just looks up at me with a smile. What? I can't sense so much as a hint of animosity or murderous intent from her. To top it all off, the little girl says,
よかった。生きてたんだね、お兄ちゃん。
She looks so happy. The hell? She's definitely Berserker's master. She's the master of the monster who almost tore me in half with a single blow. It did tear you in half, but okay. Not the sort of person I expect to just run into in the shopping district in the middle of the day. You're not planning to fight here, are you?
おかしなことを言うんだね。お日様が出ているうちに戦っちゃダメなんだから。
The little girl pouts. She's certainly acting like the little girl she seems to be. I have no idea what she must be thinking. I can at least sense that she doesn't pose any threat, though. You're...
イリアスフィール・フォン・アインツベルン。長いからイリアでいいよ。それで、お兄ちゃんはなんて名前？
Me? Shiro Amiya.
エミヤシロ？なんか言いにくい名前だね、それ。
Nobody ever said it like that. If it's hard to remember, just call me Shiro. That's my first name.
シロウ？なんだ、思ってたより簡単な名前なんだね。そうか、シロウか。うん、響きは合格ね。単純だけど、孤高な感じがするわ。
Eliasville looks at me suggestively. I find myself shifting my weight so I can be ready to run at an instant purely by instinct. She is Berserker's master. If she gets it into her head, she can probably just order him to crush me along with the florist next to me.
あ、そう身構えなくていいよ、シロ。今日はバーサーカーも置いてきたの。お兄ちゃんだってセイバーを連れてないから。おあいこ。
Yeah, I guess if you're a good enough mage, you can sense if the servant is invisible. At least sense that they're generally nearby. Elizavio looks up at me cheerfully. Well, I'm not sure even is the right word.
ね、お話ししよう。私ね、話したいこといっぱいあったんだから。
I wanted to talk to you about so much. Just ignore that I almost killed you. But to be fair, she didn't think that he was going to jump in front of the attack. So she was always planning to talk to him. The little girl tugs on my arm as if she were taking her father's hand. Wait. What's the big deal? Is this some sort of weird new strategy you thought up?
何って。だからお話したよ。普通の子供って仲良くお話しするものなんでしょ？
That may be true, but that doesn't really apply to us. We're both masters and we've already fought each other before. We're actually enemies.
それは違うよ。私に敵なんていないもん。他のマスターはただの害虫。けど、いい子にしてたらシローは見逃してあげてもいいよ。
She smiles wide as she says this. Just stay back, okay? What's wrong with you? Jerk my arm to throw Elizavio's hand off. She's about to fall. She nearly falls flat on her back because of how hard I shook her off. Oh crap, Elia! I don't know why I did that. Next thing I know, I'm reaching for Elizavio. Her name is too long. Elizavio. Elia's waist, and try to catch her before she falls to the ground. I lower Ilia to the ground without saying a thing. Ilia silent. I don't know what to say myself, so I just stand there looking down at Ilia. Well, this is awkward. So awkward, in fact, that I'm about to just turn around and leave, but then...
何？お兄ちゃん、私のこと嫌いなの？
She asks with the same glow in her red eyes that she had when she spoke to me the other night when she was with Berserker. Does that, like, imply that she's using magic at that moment? I mean, she always has red eyes. A chill runs down my spine. Sensed no danger earlier, but she's just reminding me that she's still Berserker's master. I mean, she can just use a spell and then you're just done, but okay, sure. If I cross her, I'm dead. I'd never be able to face Saber if I died in vain here, and everyone in the shopping district would get dragged into this. No, they wouldn't, actually. She probably could just, like, use a magic spell and just, like, blow up your heart or something. And then she just leaves and she won. Yeah, that's a safe bet. Ilia is willing to use her powers anywhere. She might even have some non-offensive stuff, like something that puts you to sleep or something. Fine, you just want to talk, right? I'll do what you want then. So, will that be alright, Ilia?
それじゃあ、あっちの公園に行こう。さっき見てきたんだけどね。ちょうど誰もいなかったんだ。
Ilia skips off toward the park.
ほら、早く。急がないと置いていっちゃうからね、シロ。
They sure are animating her quite a bit. Ilia spins around as she runs through the shopping district. She really did go ahead without me. I'm more moved than I am confused. Apparently once you promise Ilia something, she treats it as the absolute truth. That's why she just skipped off so happily. It's also why, even though she left me behind, I don't even consider taking the opportunity to run for it. I'd already promised her I was going to talk with her, and she clearly trusts that. What's with her? She sure is unstable. How is she unstable? In what way? But then again, I haven't yet gotten to an age where I'm so cynical as to betray a little girl's trust. Little girl. Sure, right. She's a little girl. Ellie and I are the only two in the park a little ways from the shopping district. Little ways. Kids are in school at this hour, or maybe the park's not as popular anymore. Our conversation begins in the intense wintry air of the park. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? You want to know about Saber?
セイバーのことって。
We're masters. Don't you want to get information about the other servants?
何よ、そんな話は嫌よ。もっと面白い話じゃないとつまんない。
I don't really find anything in particular boring, but okay, what do you think is fun?
そんな から何話していいかわかんない。
So you brought me out here not knowing what to talk about? Didn't anyone teach you to think before you act? They didn't, did they? Then from now on, you're going to be a proper, thoughtful adult.
いいよだ。そういうのはシローに任せるわ。レディーをエスコートするのは男の人の責任なんでしょ。なら私はシローについてけばいいだけだもん。
She smiles and leans against my shoulder. She doesn't seem like she's being touchy-feely. If anything, it's like a small animal huddling against something to stay warm. Huh? Now that I'm paying more attention, she does look cold. Oh yeah, are you cold?
寒い。私、寒いの苦手なの。
She breathes out a puff of white mist. Though she says she doesn't like the cold, she seems enchanted by her misting breaths. Let's see, it's a lot colder than usual today. You'll just have to endure the cold for now, but where did you come from? Your name sounds like kind of noble or something.
貴族っぽいんじゃなくて、貴族だよ。
I mean, technically it's just German, but it doesn't really sound noble. I mean, you have the von part in there, but it's not really.
私はアインツベルンのね、古いお城で生まれたの。いっつも寒くて雪が降ってたんだ。だからこれぐらいの寒さは平気かな。
Huh? You were born in a cold country? Shouldn't you be used to the cold then? She just said she was.
慣れてるけど寒いのは嫌なの。私、冷たいのより暖かい方が好きだもん。白だって暖かい方がいいんじゃない？
Yeah, obviously, I'd rather it be warm than cold.
だよね。だから寒い日は部屋の中で温まってるの。でも雪は好きよ。白くて私の髪と同じだって父様が言ってたから。
I clap my hands together in wonderment. Now that she's mentioned it, I realize something. I didn't know what Ilya reminded me of, but if ever there was such a thing as a snow fairy, it'd probably look like her. Your dad's pretty clever. Your hair is like snow, soft and white.
でしょ？この髪はね、イリアの自慢なんだから。私の中で唯一女の子らしい母様譲りの髪なんだ。
Ilya giggles joyfully. Seeing her acting this way leaves me numb. If I hadn't already seen it for myself, I'd never believe this girl could be Berserker's master.
ねえ、シロは？シロはお父さんから譲ってもらったものってあるの？あ、魔術刻印っていうのはなしよ。
Oh. No, I was just trying to think like why she would say that. Oh, right. She just means like, of course you got a magic crest type of thing. Like as if like that's like just the most normal thing for a mage to get, you know, basically. But yeah, also it's interesting that she mentions that her hair is the only girly thing about herself, considering she's got a girly voice and she's got a girly body frame, probably girly eyes, but I get the gist of it.
マスターとしてじゃなくて、お父さんとして譲ってもらったものだよ。
Should say not as a mage, not as a master. Me? I guess the last thing I got from him was the house. Or that was my last name, and the first thing I got was a chance at living again when I was about to die. Why didn't you say that? I was the only one Kiritsugu managed to save in that fire 10 years ago. Why didn't you say any of this? That could have been a big deal to say that to her. Let's see, I didn't get any physical features like you did from your parents, but I think I got plenty of things that were just as good. Ilya looks delighted, as if it was a story about her. Who wouldn't be happy seeing a smile like that?
でも今の話だと、シローは魔術刻印を受け取らなかったんだ。おかしいな。じゃあシローはマスターじゃないの？
Well, I'm an apprentice mage without a magic crest, but I'm a master. Now they mention it, you're a master, which makes you a mage, right?
私、魔術師なんかじゃなくて、マスターだよ。
Why'd she say that? She is a mage.
普通の魔術なんて教わらなかったもの。
That's a lie. Huh? Then you didn't inherit your parents' magic crest? But I thought your family was a prominent one, since you have a castle and all.
そうだけど、魔術刻印ってマスターになるためのものじゃないの？ だからマスターだよ、私。
I can't tell if she's like lying or getting weird information. Because if you have a magic crest, you're a mage. It has nothing to do with being a master. Elia tilts her head in confusion. Huh? No, I'm confused too. Elia's words seem off. It feels like we're each having a different conversation here. Hey Elia, let me ask something. Where do you live? It sounds like you came here just for the Holy Grail War. Does that mean you're living in a hotel right now? Well, for starters, it'd be bad if she didn't have a guardian. Letting a child like her come to Japan on her own is just terrible parenting.
ホテル？それって別荘のこと？
Yeah, I guess so. Not a house, but just somewhere you stay.
それならあるよ。ほら、あっちに大きな森があるよね。そこの奥におじいさまのおじいさまが建てた洋館があるの。アインツベルンのマスターはね、聖杯戦争の時はそこに住むんだって。
Oh, yeah, points west. Yeah, there's a deep forest in the mountains there. The place hasn't been developed yet. Takes about an hour to get to that forest by car. Did you come all the way from there alone?
今日は抜け出してきたの。セラもリーゼリットもメイドのくせにうるさいんだもん。
Yeah, we learn all about them in a different part of the story, I think. I don't know. I wonder how much you learn about them in this actual game. I wonder. I don't
せ
know.
っかく日本に来たんだから、その間ぐらいは外に出てもいいと思うの。欲しいものは何だって手に入ったけど、いつも部屋に閉じこもってたんだから、これくらいはご褒美なの。
Huh? You were locked up in your room.
雪が降るとね、体に悪いから外に出してもらえなかったの。だから大抵は部屋の中で遊んでたんだ。あ、でも大丈夫だよ。こっちはお城ほど寒くないから一人でも平気だもん。
Elia beams proudly. She swings her legs back and forth, seeming to be genuinely enjoying herself. I find myself reaching into my grocery bag. I take out the dorayaki, a Japanese pancake sandwich filled with red bean paste I bought to give Sabrin. Without knowing why, I hand it to Elia. Might want it? It's not the fanciest thing, but it's good.
え？何それ？食べ物？
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sweets, but this is the only exception. This was a favorite tea snack my old man and I shared.
その、くれるの？
Yeah, it's not as good if you eat it alone, so let's eat it together. Hand her the dorayaki. Elia hesitates but takes the unfamiliar snack.
ありがとう。
She happily takes a bite of dorayaki, practically devours the thing. I nibble my dorayaki and try to stop myself from being overwhelmed by the shocking thought I've just had. I don't believe myself. For reasons I simply can't understand. Just found myself thinking it'd be nice to have a little sister like her. But honestly, I think Elia's too innocent. She might really be an innocent young girl who hasn't learned the difference between good and evil. Honestly, I can't even begin to imagine how a mage family raises a child. But I know without a doubt that Elia wasn't raised in a normal environment. Tosaka may act the way she does, but she is a mage at heart. She understands the gravity of the Holy Grail War and knows that the killings between masters are murder. But this... I mean, I don't even know who taught Rin, like, anything. like her dad died when she was, like, 5-ish, I think. So... And her mom wasn't in the picture. So, like, am I supposed to believe she learned morality from Kodamine? I don't know about that. Like, possible, but seems unlikely. So am I supposed to believe she learned all her morality by the time she was like 5 years old? I mean, I say 5. Maybe she was like 7 or 8, I guess. Maybe. Maybe it's not too crazy. But this girl may have become a master without really appreciating what it means to kill people. Haven't been talking to her long, but I don't think Elia's the sort who'd choose to kill anyone. If that's the case, Elia, there's something serious I want to talk with you about. But then, Elia suddenly raises her head as if someone's just called for her. Elia, what's wrong? Did something happen?
ーカーが起きちゃった。
Bazaka. She jumps up off the bench. Ilya runs out of the park without so much as a goodbye. She disappears in an instant. That's weird that she didn't say anything, but okay. Pretty sure she's just going to send a familiar to follow him home, right? I don't know. I go back to the house, decide to keep quiet about meeting Ilya. This is the sort of thing I should be sharing right away, and I know it, but I don't feel like talking about it. Ilya wasn't acting like a master in the park. We talked about trivial things and casually parted ways. So I hesitate to bring up what happened today to the others. I feel bad for keeping secrets, but I don't want to think of the little girl I met today as my enemy. I mean, that's actually pretty reasonable. He didn't really learn any real info. After lunch with Saber, we resume our training at the dojo, and next thing I know, it's time for dinner. Wow, it was like 4 hours later or more. I rest, fatigued after my training with Saber, so I take a bath to rinse the sweat off. By the time I head to the living room, dinner is ready. Oh, right, written. I'm a little moved. It's really nice to come out of the baths and find dinner ready without doing anything.
エミヤくん、夕食だけど。何よ、バカみたいに立ち尽くして。
Why are you an idiot? Wow, this girl is amazing. Amazingly annoying. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back. Okay. Hopefully there's not too much left. But we'll see. I mean, you know, there's just whatever there is at nighttime. Okay, so Emiya, it's dinner time. Why are you standing there like an idiot? And yet, why does she have to ruin the moment? Exactly. To this day, I still wonder. There's like so many things that you can explain in this game. It's like there's secret backstories. There's secret information and emotions that you just don't know about. And then you get to Rin. And again, I've said it in like episode or stream 1 and stuff. And the game explains stuff better. And yet, at its base core, I wasn't wrong. like I have always hated Rin every moment of the anime, and this explained everything about her pretty well up to this moment. It's not like, you know, way different. It's just like there's a bit more nuance. There's a bit more to it. But at the end of the day, it's the exact same thing. It's like, yeah, she's a piece of shit. Oh no, you just don't get her. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Nothing. It's dinner, right? I'm ready to eat. Where's Saber? Like, I think that we're getting to the point. I think we're getting to the point of the story where I start like getting faster and faster as I read Rin's dialogue, because she's pretty soon not going to say anything that matters. She's already said all of the explanation stuff. And very quickly, I think we're going to be getting to the point where, if it matters, Saber will probably say it. And that's pretty much it. Like, the branch, the biggest branch I would say is, you know, I mean, there's many things, but basically that we are now training with Saber, which is not something that happens in the other routes, as far as I'm aware. That's what makes this the Saber route. That you're actually hanging out with Saber more. Now, I can't actually tell you what makes the Unlimited Blade Works route more Rin focused. I don't know how you hang out with Rin more in that route. I'm pretty sure that happens. I mean, it is her route, so I would assume you're hanging out with her more, but yeah, I just can't think of how that happens. I guess I guess it's like he starts leaning more toward relying on Rin versus leaning more toward relying on Saber and himself, maybe? I don't think so, though. And then Sakura, I really don't remember, honestly, when it comes to Heaven's Feel and Sakura. Like, obviously Sakura sticks around longer. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think we're going to be seeing Sakura around, like, almost at all from now on. Like, we're firmly off of the Sakura path.
旅館みたいに入り組んだ家だからすれ違ったんじゃない？いいわ。セイバーは私が呼んでくるから、エミヤ君はもう一度洗面所に行ってきなさい。髪、よく乾いてないわよ。
What a whiner. You didn't dry your hair properly. Oh, you're right. Okay, then I'll leave Saber to you. Wave to Tosaka and step back into the hallway. As Tosaka said, Emiya House was built with all kinds of passages and corridors. One of the most notable examples of this is the various routes to the bathroom. You can get there from my room or the living room. Head into the bathroom. I don't like to use a dryer, so I'll just use a towel I used earlier to dry my hair. Why? You know, I was actually just thinking, maybe she'll be naked in the bathroom. And then I was like, wait, why would she be in the bathroom? Why would she possibly be in the bathroom? Ah, I see. Right, of course. She wants to take a shower. I was gonna say needs to. No, she definitely doesn't need to. But yeah, she wants to take a shower. Sure. I wonder if this is in the anime. I feel like I don't remember this. And in that moment, I forgot everything that happened today.
シロ、二度湯のようですが、今は私が使っています。できれば遠慮してもらえると助かるのですが。
You know, I think that this would be a bit more impactful. I mean, I'm sure this is so impactful, but I think this would be a bit more impactful if she actually had her hair down right here. Like then it'd be like, oh, I mean, I feel like the difference between her having her hair up and having her hair down is what would really be impactful, not she's got clothes on or she doesn't have clothes on. It's like, sure, that's a big deal, but I think you see her I think you see her with her hair down like so rarely. It's more impactful. I need to explain myself. I need to explain that this is all an accident, but my mind has gone completely blank. The sight in front of me is enough to erase everything that's happened today from my mind. I'm not sure why he keeps saying that over and over. Shiro.
湯にのぼせたのですか？耳まで真っ赤ですが、体を冷やすのなら縁側に出るべきです。
She talked real fast there, didn't she? Like she said quite a few sentences there. No, yeah, I'll do that. But before I do, I should apologize. I avert my gaze from Saber and try to calm my pounding heart. Finally, we're actually getting some, like, I feel like the character moments. Because when they're just like, I am just looking at you. Oh, what's that? I was surprised by something. Well, I'm still looking at you. You know, like here it's like, oh no, he actually closed his eyes and looked away. Okay, this makes more sense. This was an accident. Well, actually, there's not really much room for me to explain myself now that we've actually run into each other like this. So go on, get it mad at me, Saber. Like, just say that I came back to use a towel and I didn't know you were here. I try to keep my eyes averted and calm myself down at the same time. Saber thinks for a while, then says,
シロ、顔を上げてください。
I do as I'm told. Hey, wait, why are you still like that?
シロが謝るほどのことではありませんから。このような場面を見たところで気にする必要はないと言いたいのです。
Come again?
以前にも言ったでしょう。サーバントにとって性別などさまつなことだと。シロは私の体を見て慌てているようですが、私は女性である前にサーバントです。ですから、そのような気遣いは不要かと。
What? What is Saber saying? Even if Saber insists, the fact of the matter remains that she's a girl. And I am sexist, but then again, I don't think it'd be the case. But could Saber be... Let me ask you something. Are you saying you're not the least bit embarrassed about changing in front of me, Saber?
なぜ恥じる必要があるのです。
I figured as much. It doesn't matter that Saber doesn't care, though. I really do. Sorry, just let me apologize. If something like this happens again, you can do whatever you want with me. Japan. I do a quick 180 and rush awkwardly out of the dressing room. Saber stares after me oddly as I leave. We finished dinner. It's probably a typical dinner, except it didn't feel that way. I've lost my appetite since the incident in the bathroom. So cold. I'd opened a window from the veranda to let the outside wind cool my head. But I need to stop. I'm going to catch a cold if I keep this up.
シロ、ここにいたのですか。
So, Saber, did you have something?
私ではなくシロにあるかと。いいのですか。夜はリンに魔術を教わるという約束だったはずですが。
Oh, I smacked my forehead. Completely forgot. Thanks, I'll head over there right away. Maybe that's the moment that changed everything. No, I don't know. I rush to the outbuilding and head upstairs. I knock on the door to the guest room that Tosaka has taken up occupancy in.
シロいいわよ。ちょっと今手が離せないから勝手に入って。
Tosaka's voice sounds from inside the room, but she sounds a little unnerved. I walk in to see Tosaka holding a jewel in one hand and a syringe in the other and a handkerchief in her mouth. I have questions, Tosaka.
待って。今日の夜はこれで終わりだから。
I mean, I somewhat assume that she's putting magic into gems. I don't know what the syringe has to do with this. Sticks a needle in her arm as she speaks, her mouth full, draws blood into the syringe. Tosaka slowly drips blood from the syringe onto the jewel, then grips it tightly. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that it's faster to transfer magic through blood or other liquids. Anyway. A wave of vertigo washes over me. I can tell it's a ripple of magical energy.
これだけやってもまだ3割か。やっぱり手持ちの9つだけでやっていかなくちゃダメみたいね。
Tosaka slumps her shoulders in disappointment and puts the stone back into a jewelry box. Tosaka, I came here to learn from you as promised. But before we get to that, I'm curious about what I just saw.
ええ、待ってたわ。 昼間はセイバーと体の方を鍛えてたんでしょ。なら夜は中身を鍛えないとね。
Kosaka seems happy, ready to teach. Saber said she wasn't good at teaching, but I'm guessing this will be the total opposite. Anyway,
さて、それじゃあ何から行こうか。確かシロは強化の魔術しか使えないって言ってたけど。
actually, before we start, I need to know, or else it's going to bother me. What the hell were you doing? Sticking yourself with a needle is dangerous.
あれ？あれは魔弾を作ってただけよ。うちの魔術は力の流動と転換だからね。こうやって余裕があるときは自分の魔力をよそに移しておくのよ。
Wait, what are magic bullets? And what's the point of transferring magical energy?
魔弾は魔弾よ。魔力のこもった玉。宝石は人の念が宿りやすいって聞いたことない？実際宝石は魔力を貯めやすいものなんだけど、うちの家系はさらに相性がいいみたいなのよね。
I've actually never heard of stories about those storing emotions.
魔力を込めるっていうのは、例えば今日一日何もしなかったら体力は余ってるでしょ。これを何日、何ヶ月、何年と続けて宝石自体を魔術にするのよ。もっとも宝石自体にだってキャパはあるし、自分から離れた魔力なんてものは操れない。宝石に込めた魔力っていうのはあくまで大魔術を瞬間的に発動させるためだけのイグニッションに過ぎないけどね。
So you're saying you fill these jewels with your magical energy as backup?
バックアップ、近いけど違うっていうか、使い捨てのリュックサックの中身を詰めて
It's
る
like
だけよ。
matches. Or, I mean, they're bullets. I mean, they're bullets, you know? Like, otherwise, in the middle of combat, you'd have to form the bullet and then fire it. Instead, you already have formed the bullet, so you can just fire the bullet immediately. That's all, I think. So it's like you're temporarily expanding a computer hard disk. That's amazing. Temporarily expanding a computer hard. I don't know. I don't think that's a good explanation. That's amazing. You'd be able to use as much magecraft as you want with that kind of skill. That's kind of true if you had enough.
ハードディスク？
Yeah, see, she's bad at
あん
technology.
たの言ってることはよくわからないけど、そこまで便利なものじゃないわよ。魔力は宝石に込めた時点でその宝石の属性に染まるから用途は限られてしまうわけだし。
Yeah, but magical energy never ceases to surprise me. I didn't know you could store it like that. Why don't other mages do something so useful?
自分以外のものに魔力を貯めるっていうのは特殊なのよ。
Okay.
白の強化だって物に魔力を込めているってことでしょ。通常ね、魔力の通ったものは何らかの変化をしてその魔力を使い切ってしまうものなの。魔術の効果は瞬間であって永続じゃないでしょ。
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's never permanent.
で、うちの家系はそうならないようにうまく宝石に魔力を流動させて永続的なものにしているんだけど、他の魔術師だって自分の体になら同じようなことはできるわ。それが魔術国威。あらゆる魔術師が持っている魔術のバックアップじゃない。
Magic crest. Oh yeah, secrets that parents pass down to their children. I don't have anything like that, so I'm kind of clueless about them.
ちょっと、あんた今なんて言ったの？
Well, I just said I don't have a magic crest. My old man had one, but I didn't inherit it. Kosaka catches... yeah, this is where things get interesting, because she's like, this is entirely antithetical, because, like, you want to be a mage, but he didn't give you his crest. Although, I would be interested if he was like, if Kiritsugu was like, actually, I want my magic specifically to die off. But he didn't say anything like this. But like, if he said he wanted his magic to die off, and it's better if it dies off, that'd be one thing. Because the crest, I think, is like specifically about using this one type of magic. And, you know, maybe he's like, I have a cursed magic thing. So it's better for it to die off than to be passed along. Tosaka catches her breath, but then the next minute, she seems to understand.
道理で素人同然のわけだ。じゃあ本当に一からやってるのね。なら確かにしょうがないか。
Tosaka, haven't you known I don't have Magic Crest for a long time now?
そんなわけないでしょ。知ってたら一人でなんか行動させなかったわよ。そりゃ半人前だなって思ってたけど、魔術刻印がないならそもそも魔術師じゃないじゃない、シローは。
She huffs and looks at me, seeming to be complaining. Yeah. But what is this? Her voice sounds almost warm, like she is a little bit relieved. Like she's jealous I'm not a mage. Okay.
まあいいわ。そういうことなら一から説明してあげる。魔術刻印が何なのかを知るってことは、魔術師ってものを知るってことだから。はい、シローはそこに座って。大事な話だから、ちゃんと腰を落ち着かせて聞くこと。
I am wondering like what Shiro doesn't know, but then again, I think we know everything. I think at this moment we know everything that he knows. Everything else is esoteric by comparison. Like he didn't learn about other people's magecraft capabilities. He just focused on what he could do and how he could do it, and that was all that mattered for the most part. Since Kiritsugu died when he was it 10? 11, 12? Something like that. So he was really young. Like it's not like Kiritsugu would have explained really complicated stuff, even if he wanted to. Right here. Okay, go ahead. I brace myself, look straight at Tosaka. Tosaka nods approvingly, satisfied by my show of
じゃあ
seriousness.
簡単な話から入るけど、魔術を使うのに必要なものが魔力だってことは知ってるわよね。魔術さえ発動させられるなら、それらは全て魔力と言い換えても差し支えはないわ。魔力の種類は千差万別。自分だけの精神力を持って魔術を使用する者もいれば、自分以外の対価を持って魔術を使用する者もいる。
I think she should be more specific. Like, here's some examples, but not really. Some use magecraft via their own means, such as, while others do it by paying some sort of price, such as, but no, it's just like really
ここ
big.
までは知ってるでしょ。
Yeah, you're talking about mana and odd. Mana is magical energy found throughout the world. Odd is magical energy in an individual.
そうそう、よくできました。じゃあそのマナを用いた魔術から順に説明しましょう。いい？シロー。積み重ねた歴史が浅い魔術師、要するにシローのことねは、すでに形あるものを持って魔力となすの。これは古くからシステムとして確立している儀式、供物を持って神秘と接触する方法よ。自身の力だけでは足りないから、代価を用意して取引するというフォーマルクラフト。これなら術者の魔力が希薄でも魔術は作用する。何しろ使用する魔力は自分からではなくマナから借り受けるものだから、術者はただ儀式を行うだけでいい。けどまあこういうのは知識がないとできないからね。シロにはまだ無理だし、そもそもこういう血生臭いのは向いてないわ、あなたには。
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do stuff like sacrifice chickens or pray for a whole night inside a magic circle.
でしょ。じゃあこれは置いといて、次はオド、つまり魔術師個人の力で行う魔術のこと。もう言うまでもないと思うけど、これが私やあなたの基本的な魔術講師よ。シロの強化は他者の力を借りないでする自身の魔術回路だけを頼りにした魔術でしょ。
It seems she's getting into the nitty-gritty stuff now.
その自分だけの魔力を生成する機能、魔術回路っていうのは先祖代々受け継がれる遺伝体質なの。魔術回路は何代も重ねて鍛え上げられ、より強さを増して子孫に継承されるわ。魔術師の家系の子供はそれだけで魔術に適した人間ってわけ。フェアじゃないけど、私とシローはスタート地点からして違うってことよ。
I know that. It doesn't bother me. Keep going.
別に気にしてなんかないけど。まあいいわ。それでね、そういった魔術回路とは別に、その家系が代々鍛え上げてきた秘伝の魔術っていうのがあるのよ。 さっきの宝石と似てるかな。一つの魔術を極めるとね、魔術師にはその魔術が手に取れるようになるの。本来なら形のないただの公式に過ぎない魔術を手に取れる感覚ってわかる？
No. I'm guessing it's like it becomes a part of your body.
ご名答。扱われる式という域を超えて、もはや自分自身となった魔術っていうのは形に残せるのよ。
Basically, it's your like special technique or something.
それは不安定な魔術を確立させる偉業であり、同時にその魔術師が生きた証でもある。で、魔術師は死ぬ間際に自分が成し得た偉業を刻印として後継者に譲るのよ。これをやるから自分が成し得なかった地点に到達しろ。もしかしたらわしが残した刻印が何かの役に立つかもしれんってね。まあ残した方も残された方もそんな刻印が何の役にも立たないって分かってるんだけどさ。
No help. What? Huh? What? What are you saying?
立つわよ。普通に魔術師やってれば刻印一つで左打ちはっていうぐらい役に立つわ。まあけどそれは自動車をもらったようなものなのよ。どんなに地上を速く走れても月にはたどり着けないんだから。
That's not true. Because we're actually talking about making the car better and better over the course of theoretically hundreds of years. I mean, if you put enough knowledge and power and improvements to the car, it would turn into a spaceship. I mean, we're talking about magecraft at the end of the day. I mean, we can even be literal here. Like, if you want to be literal, you could be like, this magecraft makes me go fast. And over the course of hundreds of years, it makes me go faster and faster. So there is nothing stopping me from going here to the moon, other than like physics principles. But maybe you just put on a shield and then you can make it, right? If you're just going faster and faster for a longer amount of time and all that. So whatever. Huh?
いいから話の続き。
Yeah, I will forget about that because I think that got that got retconned because the magic crest is everything. It's literally the most important thing. The magic crest is your magecraft. Like, otherwise, if it didn't matter, then you could have 10 children that all learn the same magecraft, and then they continue to teach the magecraft. Like, oh no, I don't have the magic crest, but like, how important is a magic crest when you already have the knowledge of how to do this or that thing, especially if all the children, let's say in this case, which I don't think it's true, but like, let's say in this case, all the children had the exact same number of magic circuits in their body. Like, obviously the person with the crest is going to have an advantage, but like, they're all going to have learned the same techniques at that point.
もう分かったと思うけど、その刻印っていうのがその家柄の当主が一生をかけて完成させた魔術を刻印にして子孫に譲り、
Yeah, you already just said this.
そうして複雑さを増し、深い歴史を刻んだものが魔術刻印。
Constraint mages can't
魔術師
escape.
にとって逃れようのない縛りってこと。
I mean, it's weird to say it's a constraint. I mean, oh, they just mean you're getting better and better. You're getting more and more specialized. There you go. You're getting more and more specialized into one specific type of magic. So, you know, by year 400, it might be the greatest magecraft that ever existed that can allow you to control water maybe to an insane degree. But it also means you can't use it to you can't use magecraft that will like have good shielding maybe, or like communication magic or something. Like, you're really specialized into water at that point. That's the thing. That's why she's using jewels, I think, because she is a jewel lineage mage. If she didn't want to do it, she's screwed. She actually is screwed. I don't think it's really possible for her to start a different discipline of magecraft, I think. So what you're saying is that the entire history of mage family is recorded in these magic crests.
ああ、それは違う。
Yeah, it is.
家系の記録はちゃんと書物で残してるわよ。 魔術刻印にあるのは単純に魔術だけなの。
The entire by the history he means the entire magecraft history of a mage family is recorded in the Magic Crests. Obviously that's what he meant. That's obviously what he meant.
ああ、それは違う。勝手に呪文演唱をしてくれたり、自分が習得していない魔術も使えたりするだけ。
It does not cast spells on its own. Like what? It fast casts spells, okay. But like it doesn't cast spells on its own. Let's use Magecraft you haven't mastered yet. I mean, so now she's contradicting herself because that would imply that you could do the most insane magic ever. I mean, I guess she technically did this to heal Shiro at the beginning of the game. When she's not a healer mage, I suppose. But like, isn't that like everything though? Like, that's a big deal. It's basically just a mass of magic then. Is that all? If that's all, then that's a pretty big deal. That it's like, either I don't have that magic crest and I just have to be a gifted mage who just has a lot of magic naturally, but maybe I just don't have enough magic. Oh, I don't have enough magic? I'm screwed then. But that if I get this mage crest, then, oh, you just increased my capacity by 3,000 when I only had 100 before, or something like that. Something along those lines, I think, is kind of the point.
わかりやすく言えば、自分の体に魔法陣を刻んでいるようなものかな。
Then doesn't that mean you can engrave the crest onto anyone? Magic circles are all you need. Then you can draw as many as you want as long as you know the shape.
それがそういうわけにもいかないのよ。魔術刻印っていうのはね、生き物みたいなものなの。臓器は一つしかないものだから、何人かに分け与えるとか写本するとか、そういったことはできないの。心臓を二つに分けても意味ないでしょ。結局分けても機能しなくなるだけなんだから。
Just trying to remember. I feel like I heard of a magic crest being split in two, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But couldn't you start? Well, okay. Now I was gonna say, couldn't you start making multiple magic crests? And like you could, but then you're splitting your magic. You know, instead of putting all your magic into one magic crest, you are now, you know, every day you put, you know, 10 magic points into your magic crest. Let's just say points, whatever. If you were doing 3 magic crests, then you'd be putting, you know, 1/3 of that into each, because you're not going to have 3 times more magic that you just have available to put into those crests. Oh yeah, you have a point. Does that mean you also have a crest implanted in you too? Yes, Shiri said this.
ってのは我ながら後ろ向きな例えだった。
Yes, it is implanted.
私の場合は左腕、肩から手までびっしりね。ただ魔術刻印は使わなければ浮かび上がらないから、霊樹と違って隠す必要はないわ。まあそんなわけだから、魔術師の家系っていうのは一子相伝だったりするの。その家に兄弟がいた場合、どちらかは魔術を教えられずに一般人として暮らすのが常なのよ。だって魔術刻印を渡せないんだから、魔術師として大成されてもあまり意味がないもの。
I think that Shinji already said this. Yeah.
ええ。けどマトウの家は何代か前から刻印の継承自体が止まってるわ。だからシンジに教えられたのは魔導の知識だけなんでしょう。
See, how would they know that crest inheritance stopped a few generations ago? But also it's deceptive because that's not entirely true. I don't know. I don't think they would go into it in this route actually. So I'll just say it now. Shinji has no magecraft. Okay. His grandpa has bugs that basically are used as conduits to use more magecraft, similar to crests, or maybe even literally crests. I think they're called crest bugs, in fact, or something. This doesn't come up even. I don't even think it comes up in the Unlimited Blade Works route, as far as I'm aware. Most of them. But in Heaven's Field comes up. And so they're not inheriting the crests in the Matos, but the crests are in the bugs. So therefore, basically, imagine the bugs are the gem that she has, and and magic power just keeps getting put in these bugs over decades and decades and decades. I believe that's how this works. That they just keep getting more and more empowered. So like you don't have to pass on the crest. That said, obviously the bugs can go into people, and then that's how they get the crest to some extent. But I think it's more complicated than that. But that's like the gist of it. Like they can technically have an inheritance. It's just not a permanent inheritance. So you can give the bugs to anybody to make them more powerful, more or less.
ほんと、そういう手合いが一番厄介なのよね。魔術ってものを実感できないくせに魔術を使おうって言うんだから。
Tosaka sighs a deep breath, swearing quietly.
さて、魔術を教えるってことだったけど、ちょっと予定が変わったわ。シローに魔術刻印がないんなら、違った方針を立てないといけないし。
Yeah, because like he can't use bigger spells, and theoretically he could keep improving his enhancement, but it's gonna take too long, basically, because it's something that you do over the course of your entire life. You don't just suddenly get better at enhancing. Technically.
うん。今夜はここでお開きにしましょう。明日までにはいろいろと用意しておくから、それまで待ってちょうだい。
Oh, I'll just have to trust you then. What do you mean you're going to prepare things?
だからいろいろよ。刻印がないってことはあなたスイッチできないんでしょ？体の中身をいじるんだから、お薬とか矯正器具とか必要じゃない？
Tamper with your body. Chill runs down my spine.
何？嫌だって言うんならやめるけど、その場合、私が教えてあげられることはなくなるわよ。
Can you be more specific? Well, I don't want to, but I'm still going to ask you. Whatever you say is probably the right way to go.
じゃあ、明日はそれで決まりね。そうだ。あなた、明日もセイバーと剣の鍛錬をするつもり？
Yeah, I'm concerned about the bounded field over the school, but there's still some time before it activates. I want to at least be able to fight that by then.
まあいいけど、その割にはセイバーとはうまくいってないようじゃない？
Yeah, yes, they are. Well,
夕
that...
食前までは普通に話せてたのに、夕食から妙に黙り込んでたし。念のために聞くけど、あなたたちうまくいってるんでしょうね。いざ戦闘って時に仲違いされたら、私たちまで被害を受けるんだから。
It's just that something happened right before dinner, and now things are awkward. That's all. But I'm sure if Saber and I are really getting along. But wait, that's all. But I'm not sure if Saber and I are really you're getting along. When I spent all day dueling her, I think I got a sense of what Saber is like. Trust Saber as an ally, no question about that. But if someone asked me how I feel about Saber in other senses, I wouldn't know how to answer because I love Saber. Lost soul sense in that very moment. Lost soul sense? What's that mean? It's hard to say, but what about you, Tosaka? Do you like Saber?
好きよ。だって嫌いになる要素がないじゃない。
I feel like this is said badly. There's nothing about her I don't like, really. It should have been, there's really nothing about her I don't like. Or even better than that is, I like everything about her. I don't know why some people have to use double negatives so often.
強いし、礼儀正しいし、綺麗だし。うちの皮肉屋とは大違いだわ。
I see. So you like Saber.
何よ、素直に好きな部類だって言っただけでしょ。あなたね、そのストレートな物言いは直しなさい。いろいろ敵を作りやすいから。
I refuse. I've never been good with words anyway.
そうでしょうよ。嫌味とか皮肉とか口にしなさそうだものね、シロは。ええ、どうせ私のことなんて口うるさい嫌味なやつだとか思ってるでしょ。
Yeah. Why would I think that? I like the way you say I like the way you say things. Otherwise, it wouldn't feel like it's really coming from you. He has literally already stated that he hates that she wants to take retribution and is spiteful, or same thing. That she toys with him. Like, he's already stated that he doesn't like this. That was weird. Or maybe I said what? I don't know. What? What? Crap. I might have struck a nerve. Tosaka turns away pouting. But I have to admit, I feel a little better, even happy, knowing that Tosaka likes Saber. I don't know what... I can't. Even with me knowing future events about Tosaka, I still don't know what the heck why she acts the way she does right now. The day ends. I still feel uneasy with Saber sleeping so close by, so I escape to the shed. I stop and look at the winter sky. Not because the night sky is particularly beautiful. I'm just feeling the winter chill in a daze, doing nothing because it calms me. I don't know how much time passes. I think I hear footsteps in the darkness. Just listening to the music. Just getting the music. I've literally never heard this song anywhere. Who's there? There's no answer. Footsteps approach and I feel a piercing presence. I crouch ready to jump back at any time. I think it's maybe Archer? Yeah, Archer. Hey, I asked who's there. There's no answer. Footsteps never stop and the person finally appears before me. Yeah. I mean, everybody else would have answered. It's a servant who fought Lancer at the school the other night. The red armored knight Saber beat when she leaped over the wall. Are you Tosaka's servant, Archer? The man's lips curl upward. He smiled. Can I take that as confirmation? Something about him annoys me for no reason I can really understand. I find myself irritated. I can't make myself like this guy. Never talked to him before, and he's never attacked me before. But I realize something the instant I see his face. I can't respect this man. There's no reason for it that I can think of, but he and I aren't going to get along. I'm probably not the only one who feels like this. Archer probably feels the same way. There must be a total of 3 people in the world with whom I'm just completely incompatible. That's how bad it is. I wouldn't be surprised if he was irritable around me too. What do you want? I thought you were going to stay on guard until your wounds healed up.
無論そのつもりだ。私の傷が治り次第、このくだらん協定も終わらせる。故に、お前と話すことなどないと、今まで傍観していたのだがな。
Don't let me stop you from spectating then. There's nothing I want to talk to you about either.
そうしたいのは山々だが、見逃せないことがあってな。お前、サイバーには戦わせないらしいな。
What's wrong with that? My reply is impulsive. He glares. With a fair amount of hostility, Archer makes it clear he sees right through me.
やはりな。小僧の考えそうなことだ。他人の助けはいらない。できることは全て自分でやる。 加えて犠牲者は一人も出したくないか。虫唾が走るな、その思考。
What? You have no right to tell me that. I'm only doing what I think is right. You have no reason to complain.
筋合いはある。同じサーバントとしてセイバーの苦労は理解できるからな。お前のようなマスターではセイバーの負担も大きかろう。
He's not lying. But what really ticks me off is that I didn't want to hear this from him of all people. Screw you. I'm not a burden to Saber. I'm going to fight in her place, so there shouldn't be a problem.
戦わなければ傷つかないとでも。サーバントは戦うためだけの存在だ。それから戦いを奪うことこそ冒涜だが、まあお前に言っても始まる前。
Having said what was on his mind, Archer fell silent. A few minutes pass. Two of us just stare at each other. I gulp. His cold stare seems to be trying to probe my insides. Then suddenly,
それでどうなのだ、セイバーのマスターよ。
Red Knight seems calm as he asks his question. What do you
お
mean?
前は本気で戦わずにこの争いを終わらせるつもりか。誰とも争わず、誰も殺さず。
I never said I won't fight. I'll fight if I need to fight.
なるほど。それで戦っても誰も殺さないと。
Yeah, I got a problem with that.
お前の甘ったるい考えに邪魔などせんよ。そんな余裕はないし、そこまで推強ではない。
Archer turns his back to me.
だが間違えるな。お前が気取る正義の味方とはただの掃除屋だ。その方法で救える者は生き残った者だけと知れ。
I don't know why, but it felt like Archer was just beating up on me for no reason. Wait, what do you mean a champion of justice is just a
お
cleaner?
前も気がついているはずだがな。いいか、その方法では悲しい出来事、悲惨な死を元に戻すことはできない。もともとそれが限界なのだ。正義の味方なんてものは起きた出来事を効率よく片付けるだけの存在だ。お前はお前が救いたいと思うものこそ絶対に救えない。
That's not true. The idea that you can't save the person you're reaching out to save is wrong. I mean, that's not really what he's saying. What he's saying is you can only save the people who you're nearby, but you can't save the people who are not nearby.
理想論はあくまで理想に過ぎない。お前が理想を抱き続ける限り現実との摩擦は増え続ける。お前ならばいつか現実に直面し、その折り合いのツケを支払う時が来る。お前のその選択が多くの命を奪うこともあるだろうよ。覚悟ぐらいはしておけ。己の賠償さを実感した時、まず何を正し誰を罰するかと。それができぬようならその夢もその魔術も今すぐ捨てるのだな。
Archer disappears into the darkness.
いいか、誰が何をしようと救われぬ者というのは確固として存在する。お前の理想で救える者はお前の理想だけだ。人間にできることなどあまりにも少ない。それでも
Hey, wait, what the hell are you trying to say? The question is swallowed up in the darkness. Archer's already gone, and I'm just talking to empty air. What the hell's with him? He just showed up, unloaded a bunch of crap on me, and disappeared. He was telling me that my thinking is too idealistic, that I'm going to suffer for it soon. But how can I decide something is wrong before I've even tried it? You can predict what's going to happen? I'm ready. If I'm wrong, I'll just have to pay for that mistake with my life. That's my resolve as a mage. Yeah, but sometimes you might have to pay for the mistake with somebody else's life, but whatever. Archer doesn't have to remind me that. I really can't stand that guy. But something he said bothers me. No matter what anyone does, there will always be those who can't be saved. There's so little a human can do, but even so, can I keep pursuing my ideal without ever looking back? I muttered to myself. Felt like that's what Archer wanted to say. Thank you. I'm like, please don't show us going into that shed. I'm good. I don't need more shed stuff. Waking up morning, hero of justice and a typical breakfast. I wouldn't want anyone to get sad if I can help it. Well, we did a decent stream. It wasn't the best. Definitely some breaks in there here and there, but it wasn't too bad. As usual, I just keep hoping for a longer stream, but then I'm like, I could continue, but I'd have to have 2 more hours at least. You know, it's at least 2 hours per day. And honestly, the previous day was more than 2 hours. Actually, I also just realized I don't know. Let me see. No, it doesn't really say anything. I was just wondering. That's weird. I was just wondering if it would say what day of the week it is. I think I'm losing track. I believe. Wait. So this would be like. Is this Friday? Yes. I'm thinking Saturday night. Sorry. Saturday night, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, Monday. Tuesday. Which was like half the school day. And then all this happened at night too. And then Wednesday. Yeah, I'm definitely losing track. Yeah, no, this is not easy to keep track. Why is there a massive timeline here? Is it specifically just for Unlimited Blade Works or Heavensfeel or whatever? I don't know. But I don't know, because like theoretically the other routes could be you know, down here or up here. But I suppose if they were, then that just means they would just fill in the space up here or below, maybe. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see that tomorrow. Sheesh. Look at all that. 6 possibilities. But yeah. Thanks for watching. I don't think there's anything new here, right? I don't think we have anything longer, right? Assassin? Yeah, that's true. We have some assassin. A luck, agility, rate, yeah, strength C, yeah, really silly. Presence concealment D, even though he's an assassin. Gets rid of one's presence as servant fit for covert action. It's really weird. Let me just read this real quick. Really? I didn't know that. His name wasn't even written down in the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, his most worthy opponent. interesting. It says that when Kojiro discarded the sheaths for his sword, it's believed Musashi said Kojiro has been defeated after saying that, because it was like, you could have beaten me with your sheaths, but without it you can't defeat me. Miyamoto Musashi holds the record for being one of the best swordsmen in Japan. Sasaki Kojiro was viewed as a worthy opponent, but his real image is as uncertain as a reflection of the moon on water. The weird part about this is Musashi being one of the best swordsmen in Japan. But I guess there's no way to compare it, considering, like, when it comes to being one of the best swordsmen in Japan, it comes down to, like, well, I was alive in this period, and even if I was alive in this period alongside some other great swordsmen, did I ever fight them? No. Well, you're one of the best. We aren't gonna, like, consider who might be the best, since we have no other info. People will say there was once someone like that, but the legend of Sasaki Kojiro that has been passed down to the present can only be that of a great but fictional swordsman that people fabricated. Why does it say can only be? Why is it that they can only be that? I mean, I guess it's just because the Five Rings are considered the autobiography of Musashi. So then why would Musashi not have mentioned his greatest opponent unless they just didn't exist, maybe, or something? That's my guess. Yeah, see, this is confused. Oh, actually, no, this is funny. In addition to making the blade invisible, it can also release the compressed wind and shoot it as a single-use projectile weapon. So you can only use it once. And then she was about to use it, but then somebody saw them, and so she stopped. In that case, the damage is limited and isn't affected by Saber's own magical energy or physical strength. Really? Invisible? Weird. The invisible wind increases the destructive power of slashing attacks. Weird. I'm not surprised. It's just funny because that didn't, I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Wait. It's funny. It is a noble phantasm protected by powerful magecraft, so it does not mean that the sword itself is invisible. Well, I mean, we know that. It's covered by an invisible barrier, basically. Yeah, it's actually called the laundry drying pole. Yeah. I was going to say, like, I've heard about this already. I'll have to check into this. Recorded to be over 30 centimeters, but the blade assassin wields in this story is a non-standard 5-shaku sword, closer to a spear in length. In combat, such a long reach is itself advantageous, but it seems absurdly impractical for a katana. That's weird. So they straight up don't even have an explanation for this. It's like, wait, so the sword is recorded to have been 30 centimeters long, but for no actual reason, this in Fate, it's 5-shaku, which is probably close to 50 centimeters is just a guess, but like that's nearly twice as long. That's weird, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Yeah, we'll see how far we get. I mean, I certainly plan to get to day 10 this weekend. I mean, that should be very easy, but we'll see. I mean, the next few days might end up being the longer ones. I don't think that the next day is going to be long, but the following one could be very long. And then after that, I just have no idea. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you.